Okay, guys. Try this again, shall we, guys? Sheesh. We're back. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, guys. So I'm back. No intro, no nothing. I apologize. I don't know what was going on with the internet. I had to call the internet provider to basically resend a whole new signal, like reboot everything, just so I can get this internet back up and running again. This is very, very frustrating. I apologize for any inconvenience to any of y'all, because we were cooking, we were doing very well, and then all types of craziness went down. And like I said to you guys before, I would actually play the press conference, the beginning of the press conference once more again. I am still going to do that. So like I said, I apologize for any of the crap that just happened. I don't know what the heck happened, but it keeps this, for some weird reason, it's been very, the internet has been very faulty lately since these storms have come through. Things have just been very, very annoying. Okay, so just ride with me. I apologize. Hopefully everything should be Gucci now. But like I said, I'm going to replay that press conference in the beginning part of the press conference, because I think it's very important to hear. But there is something that I want to hear. Like I said, I was going to play for you guys before we got cut off. Okay. Nobody tried to silence me, not on this. You know what I mean? There's plenty of other things that we talk about on this platform that I'm sure they want me to be quiet on, but this, nah. This is crazy. Okay, but I want you to hear what this reporter just said after this press. Okay, so now they're saying the internet is back up and running. Yeah, like I said, this is some crazy stuff. Like I said, the internet keeps going in and out. It is a very, very frustrating situation. Let me just say that. In fact, I might end this one and start a brand new one using my old rig, because I keep thinking that maybe it's the new rig that's tripping. I don't know what's going on. Like this new streaming platform that I'm using, I don't know if it's that. You see what I'm saying? But it, like I said, it keeps going in and out, which is turning into a massive problem. Okay. I mean, we are on the new rig. I'm trying the new streaming platform right now. This is what I used just earlier, and it kept cutting out too. When things are cooking, you see what I'm saying? When we're good, we're doing the show and all that, and it's very annoying. So hopefully everything goes according to plan. Everything stays Gucci. We will see what happens. But this is weird. All right. But nonetheless, we're going to continue. There is something here that I wanted to play for you guys because I do find it very, very interesting. And of course, something that I think a lot of us are reacting to. Is this some Illuminati stuff? I don't know. Let's take a listen. It is right about
for financial gain.
Here it is. Let me just, it's got to roll a little bit before we go into it.
Murder for financial gain, murdering a witness to an investigation. DA Hochman is now taking questions in that press conference. Let's go back in.
Hold on. You heard that, right? Murder for financial gain. Okay? Ain't that crazy?
Murder for financial gain, murdering a witness to an investigation. DA Hochman is now taking
murdering in somebody. Wait. This is weird. Okay? This is very, very weird.
Financial gain, murdering a witness to an investigation.
Murdering a witness to an investigation as well. Let's not forget that too. Murdering somebody for financial gain. Also murdering someone who's a witness to an investigation. What in the hell? What in the hizzy is going on here? What in the hell is going on? Don't worry, I'm going to roll it back to the beginning of this, okay, to the press conference. In fact, before we do that, let me see if I can find one with better sound, because the sound for this one was absolutely just terrible.
On the DA's,
okay, because I want to play that again. And apparently, in a little bit, the family is supposed to be coming out. I guess the family's going to be speaking in a little while with a statement as well. So we don't want to miss any of that as well. Okay, so please do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button down below. Can we get those likes all the way up? That would be greatly appreciated. All right. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with this internet. I apologize for any inconvenience. Like I said, I'm very, very annoyed right now because I don't like when that happens because, you know, we're in the flow. We're doing things. We're getting into the conversation. Things are getting thicker than a snicker. We're getting in the meat and the potatoes. And then all of a sudden that crap happens, especially right at the moment of these huge revelations are coming out. Right. So, yeah, there are many layers to this onion now. And I know a lot of people are wondering what the F is going on. Right. And hopefully we get some more information here very, very soon. OK, so let us get into this thing. TMZ released what it means, Pascal. OK, I'm gonna look into that, too. And oh, wow. BB Lee. Thank you so much, BB Lee. Thank you for gifting. Holy crap. 20 new memberships. Holy crap. Thank you so much, BB Lee. And everybody, please give BB Lee a whole lot of purple heart emojis in the chat. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. And welcome to the family, all you guys who just became members. That really means the world to me. Thank you. And that's so very kind. And again, BB Lee just gave you some love. Pay it forward by simply hitting that join button down. Not join button, I'm sorry. Passing it forward, okay? Pay it forward. Give some people some love. Open the door for somebody. Buy somebody a cup of coffee, so on and so forth, all right? Please and thank you, all right? Because, again, it's all about the little things, and it all trickles down. So just keep paying it forward by opening the door for somebody, buying somebody a cup of coffee, and all that. But I digress. We got to get to the top of this press conference because internet was going in and out like crazy, and I want us to hear the beginning of this, not the questions, because the questions were very blah, right? But again, this here is a big deal. This information, wildest stuff that I've heard in a really freaking long, like I never expected to hear all this. And you get ready because a lot of people are going to be wearing their tinfoil hats, going absolutely crazy off of what we just heard in this press conference. But like I said, I'm going to play the beginning part of this press conference so you guys can hear that one more time, because the sound was trash and the internet connection went to trash too. So let's see what they're going to say here.
District Attorney Nathan Hochman and the Chief of Police Jim McDonald coming up, and they will be speaking to you.
Hold on. I'm no. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get it better. 2 seconds, guys. Yeah, because I'm not even that I'm not pleased with. Hold on. I'm not pleased with that either. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not pleased about that either. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something a little bit better. Let's see what Long Crime does.
Jim McDonald. Also at this.
It's the same. Damn. Okay. I guess we're going to stick with what we got here. We're going to stick with this one and just listen to Associated Press. I just hate when they when the sound isn't, the sound isn't sounding. Okay? So let's get into it. Here we go. Just the beginning part, just so you know. And I will get to TMZ, I promise. Okay. Oh, TMZ has it too. Wait. TMZ has it. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see about TMZ. Okay. Hold on. TMZ. If TMZ's is better, then that's even better. Hold on. Not that one. Wait, hold on. I don't see a press conference from TMZ. So I'm going back to this for now because we got to get this thing moving. And I know a lot of y'all want to hear that replay. Okay. We're circling back. Okay. Let's take a listen.
Good morning. My name is Nathan Hochman. I'm the District Attorney of Los Angeles County. With me up here is Los Angeles Police Department Chief Jim McDonald. Also at this podium on the DA's side are the Assistant District Attorney Maria Ramirez, who oversees our special operations. We have John McKinney, who is our Director of Specialized Prosecutions. The Assistant Head Deputy District Attorney is Habib Balian of the Major Crimes Division. Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman of the Major Crimes Division will be the lead prosecutor on this case. From the Los Angeles Police Department, we also have Captain Scott Williams, who's the commanding officer of LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, the Chief of Detectives, Alan Hamilton, the Director of Specialized Prosecutions, Mike Rinkunis, and the LAPD detectives on this case, Josh Byers and Corey Farrell. Today, I am announcing the charges against David Anthony Burke, the musician known as David, spelled D4vd,
D4vd,
in connection with the brutal and horrific murder of Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time. These charges include the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring. That is first-degree murder with special circumstances. The special circumstances being lying in wait, committing this crime for financial gain, or murdering a witness in an investigation. These special circumstances...
Hold on. We're playing that again. Holy crap. Like I said, hold on.
Wait. Committing this crime for
an investigation, or a witness to an investigation, Celeste was apparently. And then on top of that, financial gain. What in the hell does that mean? Right? I think that's something that we all want to know. What the hell does that mean? Right? But let's continue.
These special circumstances carry with it, along with the first-degree murder charge, a maximum sentence of life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. The determination on whether or not the district attorney's office will seek the death penalty will be made at a later time. Before I get into the actual charges, and there are additional charges against Mr. Burke, including U.S. sexual acts, lewd and lascivious sexual acts with an individual under 14 years old and mutilating a human remains of a body. Before I get into the description of these charges and their seriousness, I want to look at this as a parent. I am a parent of 3 children, and a parent's nightmare is a situation where your daughter goes out one night and never comes back. As we will show in a court of law, and what I also want to make sure about that the understanding of these charges is clear, is my description of these charges is not evidence that we are going to present in court. These charges, in fact, will not be evidence in the court. Evidence will be the witness testimony, the documents, and different types of admissible testimony that we will admit into court in the prosecution, and if it leads to the eventual trial of Mr. Burke, to convince a jury of 12 people beyond a reasonable doubt that each and every one of these charges is true, as well as the special allegations and circumstances that have been alleged. Now, back to this being a parent's nightmare. On April 23rd, 2025, as been alleged by the complaint, Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time, went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again. On September 8th, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, Miss Celeste remains, her dismembered and decomposed remains were found in 2 bags inside of a front trunk of a car registered to Mr. Burke.
Now, again, all this information that he's just said right now is already public knowledge, already known to bring him in the first place. But given the fact that now we're hearing about the fact that he was having relations with her, now it's not speculation anymore. They now believe that that is truth, that he was having a lewd and disturbing relationship with someone who is not of age. Now, Julia just said financial gain equals using her as inspiration in music. Now, that could very well be what it is too. But it also could mean, maybe he was paid off to do that, or she was a sacrifice of some sort. I know that's where some people have already ran with already. Which, by the way, is a possibility. Sacrifice her to gain some monies. That's possible. I know that sounds a little crazy, but again, it could be he was using her death, using her as inspiration in his music to be like, this is my story, and I really lived this story. Here it is. You know what I mean? That could be it too. Genobi, thank you so much. Financial gain. If she told he would lose his career and money. That also true about financial gain. Shut up, because you could ruin my life. Or if she said anything, if she was to run and tell that could really ruin his career and all the things that he's been building. So again, financial gain could have been destroyed through her going out and telling people that she was having a lewd and lascivious relationship with a grown man, right? That could be it too, right? Again, he did make money off of her demise too. People were still streaming his music. People were still listening to his music, even over the last 7 months, since her body was found. You don't think people were going through and listening to it with a fine comb, trying to analyze and dissect and try to understand how his mind is, right? If he was putting Easter eggs in his music, see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So again, all those things are possible. It sounds insane, but he's insane enough to do what they're alleging him of doing, which is chopping her up, putting her in a car, him going and having a relationship with a girl that he should not have been having a relationship in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So if you're insane about all of that, if you're willing to do all of that to begin with, you're obviously crazy enough to write this in a song, or turn it into some anime or something of that sort. Turn what you did in real life into art. Which, now you can't really, I wouldn't call it art. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? This is insane. So, again, financial gain on all levels. Him writing a song about this, him trying to stop her from going out and speaking out about their relationship is also another way. All these things. There's so many different levels of financial gain in the situation here. Okay? This is extremely disturbing and diabolical.
Thereafter began an investigation. The investigation was to determine who killed, who murdered Celeste months and months before. That investigation was carried out in unison and in partnership between the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division and the District Attorney's Office. At every point in the investigation, through the arrest and the filing of charges, the LAPD and the District Attorney's Office have worked in lockstep. There's been no disagreements amongst these entities in deciding how to proceed with this case, ultimately leading to these charges today. So what you have as well with these charges is that, again, there are 3 sets of charges that have been brought. The first-degree murder with special circumstances, and again, those special circumstances are lying in wait. That Celeste went to Mr. Burke's home on the night of April 23rd, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, at his invitation, and again, was not heard from again. The second is a special circumstance being that this murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court, the financial gain was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career that Celeste was threatening on that particular night.
See? There it is. There it is, everybody. Hold on. Hold on. I want you guys to hear that one more again.
For Burke to maintain, show that this murder was. The second is a special circumstance being that this murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court, the financial gain was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career that Celeste was threatening on that particular night.
Blammo. So again, sure, I'm sure he wrote a whole bunch of stuff after her passing that he's still making money off of as well. But she threatened him, allegedly. See, remember, there's information that we don't know about that they clearly know. So there you have it, right there. Bing, bang, boom. There's information that we all been wanting to know. Was there some sort of threat? What was the reason why she lost her life? And exactly, Sabrina, the motive. Is there motive? What would make him go and take her life? You know what it is? Sounds like she was going to say, hey, I am going to step forward and tell the public that you've been having relations with somebody who is not of age. That's it. She was not pregnant, guys. I want to make that abundantly clear. Let's just make that abundantly clear. Okay, guys? Update, okay? Old news, by the way. This is old ash news. She's never been pregnant. She was not with child when she was found slaughtered. I guarantee you, she's sitting there going, I'm about to tell on you so hard. I'm about to tell everybody what you've been up to. And what you've been up to is illegal and shunned upon. Yeah. This is according to what they are saying here. This is what prosecution is saying right now. That she basically said, hey, man, I am about to tell on you. And maybe, you never know, she may have been trying to blackmail him. That might have been it too. Then let me just say this too. And of course, you know, I'm not sitting here trying to like say anything bad about Celeste at all. I'm just saying, we've seen her interaction in those videos where she was down. I think she went down for a birthday, right? And this was like a few weeks or something like that before she ended up, a few months before she was actually found gone, dead in his car. Remember how she was talking to those adults? She was talking to that person, that dude next door. Think about that for a hot minute. Okay? So what are the chances of her actually saying, F you, bro? F you. And then she said, I'm about to destroy everything that you have. And he's like, oh no, please don't do that. You see what I'm saying? Think about that for a second. That would be absolutely insane. She's a feisty one. We've seen her talk to next door neighbors, actual adults. And she was very feisty with them too. So what are the chances of her getting angry enough and being like, F you, I am about to, go in. I'm about to expose your whole ass. And you're not going to like it. And your fans aren't going to like it either. And then he freaked out. And then he took her life. That's motive right there. That's motive. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. So again, let us continue. Financial gain. He had an sexual relationship with this young girl. Should not have had it with her. Just so you know. You don't do this with minors. I'm just letting you know. You never. Not never. Okay? And yet, all that was about to come around and bite him right on the booty. And he freaked out. He got scared, and lo and behold, here we are now. Crazy.
The third charge, in addition to lying in wait and for financial gain, is murdering a witness to an investigation. In this particular case, as the evidence will come out in court, the witness to the investigation was Celeste. And the investigation was into the lewd and lascivious sexual acts committed by Mr. Burke.
Wow.
It is the subject of count 2 of this
Wow.
complaint with Celeste while she was under 14 years old.
Okay. Wow. It's a lot nicer when it's not buffering every 5 seconds. Okay. So now you hear, okay, first off, yes, she was not pregnant. She never was pregnant. Unfortunately, she never will be pregnant. I just want to make that abundantly clear. Here it is. He murdered a witness to an investigation because she was the actual person that was in a relationship and a part of that investigation. Now, the question still remains. Does that mean that she went out of her way to file and there was an investigation ongoing, that an investigation was still pending? Or are they saying she lost her life after the fact? Or she was a witness after the fact? You see what I'm saying? Like that she was a witness to her own, nasty situation. Okay. But now that she's lost her life, she's the only person she's the only witness to that specific case. You see what I'm saying? So she lost her life even after the fact because she is the only witness to her own crime, if that makes any sense, right? That could also be it too. It may just mean that she was filing something. She may have said something and said, I'm about to expose you, D4vd. I'm about to ruin your life because you a nasty, nasty boy. Maybe that's what it is. And then he freaked out and then he took her life. Period. But that's all the things. I mean, there's more. I'm going to play a little bit more. We're going to play the rest of this, the rest of this part. Okay. But there's obviously a lot that he had riding on his shoulders that he did not want to be exposed. He did not want those things out, but he clearly was obsessed. He clearly had an obsession over this girl. He was writing songs and making anime and all types of little movies, etc., all revolving around this girl named Celeste. She's depicted in all of his stuff. So clearly something's up, okay? And I think she knew whatever was going on between them was not right, was not good, and maybe they had a falling out and she said, F you, I'm about to expose everything. I'm about to expose everything for exactly who you are, for the nasty individual that you are. And then he lost his mind, got scared, took her life, and then tried to hide her body. Now the question is, what happened? How did she actually lose her life? And how long ago did she lose her life? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things have not been answered yet, and hopefully we get those things found out pretty soon. But his lawyers are all basically saying that he did no wrong. He could do no wrong. He had nothing to do with her death. Well, prosecution's saying something completely different. They're saying no, he had everything to do with her demise. Miss us with that nonsense. But let's continue and let's hear the rest of this, okay?
I had the chance to meet with some of the family members of Celeste, and their grief is uncalculable as to what happened to their daughter. What they have demanded, what we have assured them that the district attorney's office working with LAPD would give them is the proof beyond a reasonable doubt on who killed their daughter, on how their daughter was killed, when their daughter was killed, and bring that killer to justice. That killer that we have now charged is David Anthony Burke. We will have questions after I speak and Chief McDonald speaks. At this point, I invite Chief McDonald to speak.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you all for being here. I want to begin by expressing my deepest condolences to the parents of Celeste Rivas. No parent or any human being should have to endure what you've gone through. Today, alongside D.A. Hochman and our partners at the L.A. County District Attorney's Office, and thanks to the tireless and hard work of our investigators at the LAPD, we're announcing the arrest and prosecution of David Burke for the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas. Throughout the 7-month investigation, this department has faced criticism for how we handled the case and for our decision not to provide details. I want to be clear about something. My duty is not to fuel speculation, it's to deliver justice, and that requires patience and discipline on everybody's part. This investigation was driven by a single purpose: to secure justice for Celeste Rivas and for those who loved her. We had to be certain that nothing we did or said would ever jeopardize this case. Ms. Rivas was a reported runaway from Riverside County. During the course of our investigation, detectives learned that she had been involved in a sexual relationship with Mr. Burke when she was a minor and he was an adult. On April 23, 2025, Ms. Rivas arrived at Mr. Burke's home in the Hollywood Hills. That's the last time she was known to be alive. On September 8, 2025, Ms. Rivas's dismembered and badly decomposed body was discovered in the front trunk of Mr. Burke's impounded Tesla. From that moment forward, our investigators faced an extraordinarily difficult and complex case. The condition of her remains delayed the medical examiner's ability to be able to determine the cause of death. The substantial amount of time that passed between her death and the discovery meant that crucial evidence had degraded or disappeared. And as detectives worked to uncover the truth, they also had to sift through and debunk a great deal of false information circulating publicly. These challenges were real, and they required patience, precision, and an unwavering commitment to the facts. Despite these obstacles and despite our Robbery Homicide Division detectives remained steadfast in their duties. They recovered and analyzed a substantial amount of digital and forensic evidence. They stayed focused, disciplined, and committed to uncovering the truth. Their work, in close collaboration with the District Attorney's Office, has brought us to this moment today. I want to thank the District Attorney and his team, as always, for their partnership. This case demanded coordination, persistence, and a shared commitment to justice. Also, thank you to our media partners for showing up today and for sharing this important message with the public. And finally, to Ms. Rivas' family, we cannot undo the pain you are feeling. Our hope is that today brings some measure of accountability and a step in the journey toward healing. Please know that the department remains fully committed to seeking justice on behalf of your daughter. Thank you.
Okay. And then they go into questions, which we already heard. We already heard in the beginning, okay? But nonetheless, this is absolutely insane what we just heard. And it's something that we've all been wanting to know. What exactly is going on here, and how did this all go down? Or at least the lawyers of the family. Dang. Okay, hopefully my internet goes back to normal here shortly. Okay, it looks like everything's good. But again, what's really crazy about this is that we're still waiting for some sort of press conference from really what I expected, but it is what I expected, if that makes any sense. Jesus Christ. It's not entirely, I know it's buffering like crazy. Like I said, I may have to just come back later on another live with a different rig or a different streaming program, because this is, I mean, I love this program that I'm using, and I want to use it, but it for some weird reason it just keeps going in and out like crazy, and it's just making the experience just terrible. Okay. Yeah, no, it was, I'm having issues here too. So here's the thing. I'm using OBS. Rican Elite. I'm using OBS. That's what I'm using right now. You know, it's a program that I've been looking at for years and been wanting to use it. And I've been starting to use it over the past like 2 weeks now. And then suddenly now, I mean, but that's the thing. It's only recently, since the storms that came through, that I've been having issues with my internet. And this always happens. In my area, every single time I get hit, you see what I'm saying? Every single time we get hit with like some crazy strong storms, suddenly, the internet goes to crap. So it may not even be the program itself. It may be, because if I use StreamYard like I usually do, it would be the same issue. It would be buffering like crazy. You know what I mean? So it's not the OBS program. It's the actual internet. It's literally the internet that keeps on just dropping in and out, which is a huge problem. Okay. But I digress. I want to go over to TMZ because apparently Harvey Levin said some stuff about this press conference that happened just a little bit ago. So let's take a listen to what he has to say about all this stuff as well.
The DA has now formally charged singer David with the murder of Celeste Rivas and is alleging special circumstances. Now, a lot of the information is still vague. The DA would not get into specifics, but based on the special circumstances, I think this is a window in to what the DA is alleging. The DA is saying that the special circumstances were lying in wait and financial gain. Now, he is also being charged with having sex with a minor under the age of 14 and mutilation of a body. The sex with a minor under the age of 13 is significant. It seems like what the DA is saying. Now, he said that the financial gain is she was a witness to something, and if it got out, it would ruin his career. And killing her was a way of preventing that. So,
but it could very well be that she is the victim or she is the witness to her own SA. You understand what I'm saying? She literally could very well be the witness to her own crime. Hence the reason why he went and took her life, because she said, I'm about to tell them, I'm about to tell on you. I'm about to tell them all that you did this to me. Now, it could also mean, let's just keep this really, really straightforward. It could also really mean that she saw him do something else on top of him having relations with her when he shouldn't be having relations with her in the first doggone place. But we all been known that. We just now have it confirmed. It's shocking because we knew it. And it's not shocking because we knew it, and it's shocking because we knew it. And we're seeing in real time, oh my dear God, she really was in a romantic, in the biblical sense, relationship with this man, D4vd, literally. So she could literally be the only witness or a witness to her own crimes, hence the reason why she was a witness to an investigation. Do you see what I'm saying? But then it could also mean she may have seen something. You never know. He might be wilding out here. He might be smashing other people who are not of age. She might have been in the same room seeing him smash. You see what I'm saying? So that's also possible too. Or something else. She just is a witness to a crime. That could be a slew of different things. Him moving weight, him, doing X, Y, and Z, him breaking and entering. It could be anything. But I'm going with what I feel is that she is the witness to her own crime that he committed. Meaning she was having relations with him, which is illegal. And because it's only two of them, as far as we know, it's only the two of them in a room together, she is a witness to that crime that he is committing on her. Therefore, she is no longer here. She obviously said, I'm about to tell everybody named Mama what you did, and he didn't like that. So he also took her life specifically for that reason as well. Hence the reason why he took her life for financial gain, because he didn't want to ruin his career. He didn't want his life ruined. And yet, look at what he's doing. Look at what he's been, how much money he's garnered over the last 7 months because of people who have been deep diving into this story, into this case, re-listening to all of his music to see if there's any Easter eggs, any type of clues in his music, so on and so forth. Everybody going through every finite thing that he's ever done artistically and analyzing the hell out of it. He's making money off that, guys. He was making money off that. Okay? So again, this is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be interesting if this actually gets cameras in this room, in this trial, and we gonna watch it. Oh, we watching this one, baby. We are definitely watching this one when it goes into a courtroom, okay? But again, he's screwed. This is all very, very bad for this man. But let's continue on.
When you kind of connect the
Oh, and this is not Michael Jackson, baby. Michael Jackson doesn't have any dead bodies laying around, you feel me? At least that we know of. This is nothing to do with Michael Jackson. This kid took the Michael Jackson allegations and he took that to a whole other level. Okay, he turned that freaking thing all the way up to 11 and he ripped that knob off. Okay, I'm just being real. All right. MJ was busy, doing his Never Never Land type stuff. And have you seen my childhood? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. All right. And we can all ask questions about why he's sleeping in beds with littles that ain't even his littles. We get that. OK, he indeed. Indeed. But at the same damn time, this dude did things of the likes that no person that I know of has ever done before as far as artists go. So, just letting you know. MJ slept on the floor, but he also slept in them beds too. Sorry, it's the truth. That part is true. That's weird. That's weird. But he didn't unalive anybody. Okay? The allegations, those are real allegations. Don't know if they're true or not, but the allegations are real. But he never unalived anybody. That's for damn sure. I can't talk.
Dots and put the pieces together. It seems what the DA is alleging is that Celeste was a witness to the fact that she was having sex with David. In other words, she's not just a witness, she is involved. And that...
There it is. Exactly what I just said. And no, I have not seen this video yet. So literally what I just broke down is exactly what they're talking about, right? She is a witness after the fact of the crime that he committed with her, or to her, not with her, but to her. You see what I'm saying? And we don't know what the dynamics of that relationship was. We don't know if she was a willing participant or if he did it illegally. Like, well, meaning if it was consensual, you know what I'm saying? Or if he just did that against her will. That's still a possibility, right? That he just went and, took her with all due respect, right? Without her, without her consent. But still, no matter what, regardless if it's consensual or not, it's still a criminal act at the very base, because she was 14, she was younger than 14, okay? She was 12, 13, 14 years old when she was walking around hanging out with this dude. So God only knows what was going on. She may have been a witness to many crimes that he committed with her, to her over the years that she knew him. And then finally one day she woke up and said, wait a second, this is wrong. You're not supposed to be doing this to me. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? She's young. You got a kid she's a kid. She's young. Her brain isn't even fully developed at this point. You never know. Things that she thought was okay and just normal, what, people do when they're in love. You never know. Maybe she didn't know until one day she goes, oh my God, this is wrong. This is disgusting. You see what I'm saying? So again, she could have been like, F you, what you did to me is wrong and messed up. Right? And Ja bless me. Yeah, were there other girls? That's the other question as well. I'd like to know. Okay. There could be other kids. You never know. I know that sounds weird, but maybe, right? Messy. She was a kid. She could not consent. Good point. Good point. But still, see what I'm saying? See how insane this is? This is absolutely knuckin' futz, what we're hearing and what we're witnessing right now. Okay? And it's only going to get more insane, I have a feeling. We'll see what happens in this trial. Because, this trial is about to be on and popping.
She had percipient knowledge, as we say, of the circumstances that he was having sex with an underage girl. So what you would surmise is that when you look at the lying in wait charge, what you would surmise is the DA seems to be suggesting that in some way Celeste threatened to make their sexual relationship public or go to the police. Maybe they were having some kind of a dispute. That's what it seems the DA is suggesting. And that the lying in wait is luring her over to his place and killing her so that she couldn't blow the whistle on him. Now, he didn't say that, but when you try to connect the dots of lying in wait and financial gain, for possibly ruining his career, that seems to be where it's heading. Now, when he is charged with special circumstances, that means the death penalty is on the table. It doesn't mean that that the DA will seek the death penalty, but it is on the table.
Let me just add this really quick. I'm going to read this off screen really quick because a lot of people are asking the same thing. What does lying in wait mean? Now, obviously, it sounds like what it sounds like to me, which is this was a premeditated murder. Yeah. Let me explain. That he knew that he knew or was planning on taking her life because she said, I'm about to expose your whole ass. Your whole life is about to be destroyed. As soon as I make this public knowledge, your entire life is freaking destroyed. Lying in wait means, and I'm reading this off screen, but it means hiding and watching secretly to ambush or attack someone unexpectedly, often with premeditated intent to kill or cause severe harm. It is a legal term describing a premeditated attack where the perpetrator hides to catch a victim off guard, often constituting an aggravating factor in murder cases. So, let me just repeat this again. You got a situation where you got D4vd being approached by the likes of this young girl, Celeste Rivas, saying, you just SA'd me. This is not okay. This relationship was never okay, and I can't believe blah, blah, blah. Let's just say she did that. She said, I'm about to expose you. I'm going to the police. I'm reporting all of this. Your life is going to be destroyed because you did things to me. And he said, no, don't say anything. Don't even say anything. F you. Leave me alone. I'm about to expose your whole ass. Your life is ruined. You did this. You're wrong. I hate you. Right? So he sits there pacing back and forth thinking about all this stuff. Artistry gone. Him becoming a fresh fish in prison. And let's be real, he has some very zesty vibes. Okay, very zesty vibes. And like I've said a million times before, this man is gonna be inside that prison wearing Kool-Aid lipstick, holding the inside pocket of a man named Toby in no time. He might even turn into the prison's bicycle. Okay, everyone gets a ride. You just never know. You see how zesty he is. Stars and painted fingernails and looking all pretty like. All feminine nitty-nitties. And you mean to tell me he ain't gonna get passed around? Mother lover better not drop that soap, baby. Okay, I'm just letting you know, Kool-Aid lipstick. Okay, he about to be that merry-go-round. You see? Oh snap! Oh, I got bars. I got bars. Yeah, like I said, he about to be a merry-go-round. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He about to be a merry-go-round. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? So, this is not good. So maybe he was sitting there thinking about this. He's like, man, I do have a pretty mouth. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. And then he did the unthinkable. He thought about this, and then he went and he took her life. Real talk. I didn't mean to wake up the dog, BB Lee. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did hit some high notes there. But he about to be a merry go round. Okay? In prison. I'm talking about prison time. Okay? Yeah. So he thought about this, and then he took her life. One of the questions they did ask, okay, they did ask this though. Did he operate alone? They didn't really answer that question. And that's, of course, what they're going to say. Because they don't want that person. If they do actually have somebody in their sights, they don't want to let that person know that they're looking at them. So, of course, they're going to sit there and go, no, we gonna keep that quiet. We going to keep that quiet. Okay? We're going to keep that quiet. So we'll see if there's somebody else connected. I truly think he didn't do this alone. Even after, I think it's like he did the act, he took her life, and then maybe after the fact he had somebody else help him. You see what I'm saying? Cause of death has been released by TMZ just now because they only said her death was a homicide, a homie. So that will be interesting as well. We'll get to that, but let's finish what Harvey has to say. But like I said, D4vd about to be a merry-go-round in prison. And oh, he might be meeting Mr. Sparky. Mr. Sparky. He's going to give him a dream, a permanent dream, if you really think about it, because Mr. Sparky, he permanent. He endgame. Do you understand? So future merry-go-round might be meeting Mr. Sparky. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Just so you know, he's screwed. He's screwed because they are going to most likely go for the mother-loving DP. You see what I'm saying? Because of what he did. Yeah, little go-round, little Mary. Oh, I'm sorry, because there's Mary in the chat. I don't mean it like that, Mary. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. All love. He the Mary M-E-R-R-Y. That merry-go-round. Okay? Yeah. Still wearing the Kool-Aid lipstick, though. Still holding the inside pocket of a man named Toby. Still, but he's still merry-go-round. The merry-go-round. Okay, let's listen to the rest of TMZ, shall we?
He is 20 years old. Now, it could go either way
21.
because he is an adult. So,
He's 21. He's 21. Let's get it right.
So that's ultimately going to be up to the DA. The immediate consequence of pleading special circumstances is that he will almost certainly be denied bail. So while he awaits trial, then that would probably mean that he will be in jail for the duration of the waiting period.
He better not get.
That said, he is going to be arraigned today formally on charges. What is going to be interesting is this. The DA has an option here, which is, even after the charges are filed, to go back to the grand jury and ask the grand jury to indict David for these various crimes. If the DA chooses that route, the advantage of it is that it avoids a preliminary hearing, which the DA may or may not want. A preliminary hearing, even though it's designed to see if there's enough evidence, it's also designed to road test your case. I don't know whether the DA is going to go the grand jury route or not. It wouldn't shock me if the DA did that. So right now, David charged with 3 crimes, one of which puts the death penalty on the table. The medical examiner is expected shortly to release not the manner and the cause of death. We've already reported that a high-up LAPD source told us that the medical examiner has ruled her death a homicide, but we do not know how the death was caused, according to the medical examiner, and that will be in the medical examiner's report. That could come out as early as today, and obviously we will have that on our website the second we get it. So
Again, here it is. What they're presenting to that court in that courtroom is going to be massive. And when it does get presented, whenever it does get presented, it's about to be, I mean, I just don't see how the judge is going to sit there and go, nah, he can walk for free. He can walk. Nah, he good. No, he's done. It's donezo, guys. It's donezo time. And they will most likely go for the full-on DP. That's it. Death penalty will be on the table, baby. Okay? Now, here's something else. They are now saying, prosecutors say, that he took her life. Let's take a look at this. This is crazy. Breaking news. Breaking news, okay? Breaking news, everybody. Welcome to Ben Shapiro. Unleashed, wet-ass P-word. Here's the thing. Now we got prosecutors saying that he took her life with a sharp object, baby. Like I said, let the justice rain down upon him. Okay? Oh, Inspector, yes, this case I think is over. It's just going to be very fascinating to see this trial. If he doesn't take a plea deal, or if he doesn't say, me guilty, lock me up, gal. That's what I think he's going to do. We're going to see a Brian Kohberger thing happen. I don't think he's going to go through the whole thing, but maybe he will. Okay? He may fight and say, no, I was innocent. I was innocent. You know? He might do that, but I don't believe it. I don't see it. As soon as his team turns to him and goes, yeah, bro, they got a lot of stuff up against you, man. They got too much stuff. Man, you had the girl's body in your car, though. That's bad enough, son. That's bad enough, son. Damn. You really had to leave her in your mother-loving car? This would be a different situation if you didn't leave her whole body in your mother-loving car, son. Damn. Yeah, he's in trouble. He's in really big trouble. This is no bueno. Cabron, this is no bueno. It's no bueno for him. So again, this might be a Brian Kohberger situation where he just pleads guilty and just gets a lighter sentence, which is not going to be very light, just so you know. He's still going to be in prison for the rest of his life, being a merry-go-round. That's what's going to happen. Wait for it. It's two different options he's got. He can either take a plea deal or he can sit there and say, I'm innocent and fight this out in court. And here's the thing. We all want to see him fight it out in court. That's the thing. We all want to sit there and go, oh, go ahead. Say you innocent. So we find out everything that you did. Let's see what prosecution has stacked up against you. But that, like I said, they've had 7 months to get their ish together and stack up this case with evidence. So again, I'll be shook if the judge goes, nah, we're not going to give him nothing. He can walk. Go ahead, buddy. Can't wait for your new album. Wouldn't that be messed up if he got let go and his next album is called CRH? Wouldn't that be so diabolical? You see what I'm saying? Because her initials are Celeste Rivas Hernandez, right? Wouldn't that be absolutely insane? I'm just saying that would be absolutely insane. Okay? Insane. But let's look at this. Cause of demise is now being said. They're saying that she lost her life from a sharp object. Sheesh. So her cause of death has been revealed, and prosecutors in Los Angeles County say D4vd unalived her with a sharp object. Prosecutors revealed the alleged cause of demise Monday, today, in documents charging D4vd with murdering Celeste. A high-ranking source in the LAPD told us last week the medical examiner determined the manner of her demise as a homicide. A homie. Okay? But there was no indication how Celeste was murdered. Prosecutors say D4vd unalived Celeste, which we already know. Now they're saying it on around April 23rd, 2025, but mutilated her body on May 5th. So she lost her life on April 23rd, and then well over a week later, he chopped her up on May 5th. What's interesting about these dates, TMZ broke the story. Authorities say David took a mysterious trip to a remote area of Santa Barbara in the spring of 2025. Remember that information? Remember that? And that could align with this date of May 5th. So on Cinco de Mayo, he literally was in somebody's place or somewhere out in a wooded area, chopping her up. Crazy. The question, how did her body end up in David's Tesla in September? I still have that theory. I'll explain. Celeste's body was dismembered and decomposing. The cops say the state of the body, which was stuffed in 2 bags, made it difficult for the medical examiner to figure out the cause and matter of death. Prosecutors say Celeste went to David's Hollywood Hills home in April of 2025 and then was never heard or seen from ever again. As for the charge, David was having relations with a little under the age of 14. The charging documents list her 13th birthday, September 7th, 2023, through September 7th, 2024, when she turned 14, as the period when David D4vd continually SA'd her. Continually SA'd her. So this was not just a one-time thing. He did this quite a bit. He's another pig vomit. Holy crap. He's another pig vomit. If you know what I'm talking about. Madeline Soto. Remember Stephen Stearns? Pig vomit? Yeah. He's another pig vomit. Crazy. It is relevant in terms of the alleged crime, having relations with a little under the age of 14. There he is. Wow. Why does he look like? Is he looking at the camera and not looking at the camera at the same damn time? How does that happen? Oof. Oof. He's looking rough. You gotta pick your Aphrodite, 'cause it's flat on one side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He looking rough. He looking rough. Moving on. The LAPD arrested D4vd Thursday in a huge show of force. And now he's charged with first-degree M with special circumstances, mutilating a body, and lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14. I'm proud of you. I was worried. I didn't know if anybody knew the Erykah Badu song. Okay. I was about to say, it's a deep cut, but it's a damn good cut. Yeah, I did the Erykah Badu. I'm proud of y'all. Oh, y'all smart. Y'all really listen to music. Yeah. Okay, Erykah Badu. But moving on. The special circumstances include lying in wait, committing the crime for financial gain, and unaliving a witness to an investigation. LAPD Chief McDonald says there is evidence David and Celeste had a relationship, a spicy relationship, a nasty relationship, okay, an extremely illegal relationship, okay, and DA Hochman seems to be suggesting Celeste threatened to go to the cops regarding their relationship, okay, so D4vd allegedly invited her over to take her whole freaking life. For their part, David's attorneys told us he was not the cause of her death. Wait a second. What the hell does that mean? So what are they saying with that? Hold on. Can we talk about that for a second? Because what they're saying is, well, wait, he wasn't the reason why she did. What does that mean? No, they're lawyers. They need to do they're doing what they need to do. You feel me? But think about that for a second. They're saying that he was not the cause of her demise. What does that mean? Does that mean he ordered somebody else? Or what are they trying to allude to? That he ordered somebody else to do it for him? That, yes, it was totally, wholly premeditated, but then he paid somebody or ordered somebody to do the unaliving for him? Because that's kind of what it sounds like to me. Because now it's like he had nothing to do with her demise. Now it's like, no, he didn't cause her death. He was not the cause of her death, though. What does that mean? You realize the semantics here could mean so many different things. And no, I don't think it was Neon or Neo. I don't think it was Neo, because Neo would have been locked up if he had something to do with her demise, if he is the one who did the fatal blow. But let's talk about this for a second. As we hear because we got to go back to the timeline that we're hearing now, because we're getting a little bit more information, right? We're starting to piece starting to put the pieces together, right? So they say they're hypothesizing that she was unalived on April 23rd. Then her body was cut up on May 5th, right? So what's interesting about this is about the Santa Barbara thing. So can we talk about Santa Barbara, right? So here's my theory, and I could be wrong, okay? I could be absolutely wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think when he went out to Santa Barbara, because, okay, she was dead, allegedly, what they're predicting is that April 23rd. She lost her life. I think he either put her body somewhere or hid it somewhere. Maybe it was still in the car. I don't think it was in the car, because I don't think he did the dismantling, if you get what I'm saying. I don't think the mutilation of the body happened after she lost her life on the 23rd. No, I think she was dismantled or taken apart around the 5th of May on Cinco de Mayo. So I honestly think that he tried to drive out to some random area to try to bury her, and then he couldn't do it. Or maybe he was like, this, it's too much ground to dig. So then he went somewhere in Santa Barbara to take her apart. Yeah, I don't think it was a situation, Lisa, where he gave her a substance and then she, was losing her life because of the substance, like a bad batch of something, if you get what I'm saying. And then he was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with her body, man? Because wouldn't you just call 911 and call it a damn day? That's at least what I know. I mean, you just call 911, right? But that's not what he did. He went ahead and tried to find a way to get rid of her by cutting her up. And I really, really think that there's more to this. I really think that there's more to this, guys. Hear me out. I think that he tried different. This is about to sound insane, but just rock with me for a minute. Okay? Yes, Messi. We just read it right here. Yes. Sharp object, right? So it's definitely not the substances, right? So it's definitely not that. This is what they've hypothesized, right? This is their verdict. Sharp object is what took her life. I honestly think that he tried different options. This is going to sound weird. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, let me just stretch a little bit so I don't pull a hammy when I talk about this thing. Here's my theory, okay? Here's what I think. I think he tried different options. I think at some point he did bury her. Yeah. I think at one point he tried to bury her. He couldn't. Yeah, that L4, L5. He couldn't handle it. He's also somebody I feel like believes in spirits and crap. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys. No disrespect to anybody who believes in like spirits and stuff, but I mean, he's a different one. He's unique. Okay? So I think he tried at some point to bury her. It didn't work out so well. He didn't like that. So then I think he dug her up, and he's like, I got to figure something else out. And so he went out to Santa Barbara, either to cut her up or to dig the grave. But I think he dug her up, and then he was like, I don't know what I need to do. I don't know what choice I got. What other things can I do? That's when he cut her up. And then I also think that, you know, because there's been quite a discussion about the possibility of her being frozen, her not being frozen, blah, blah, blah. I think I really do still think that he put her in some sort of independent, standalone freezer, stuffed her in there, had her in there for a little while, and then maybe, I don't know, was like, yo, I'm about to move her somewhere else. Because he couldn't keep her in there for very long. So I think he just kept on trying to find ways to move her in different places. And I think he tried different options at first. He tried to bury her, it didn't work. He tried to stash her somewhere, it didn't work. Then he chopped her up and then put her in some sort of freezer, right? Like, yeah, like Sue just said, like a deep freezer of some kind, right? And then, because he didn't know what else to do, and maybe he was freaking out because too many people were wanting to get ice cream out of the freaking freezer thing and going to the wrong one or something like that, that he took her and put her in the car and was planning on taking her somewhere else, but maybe just didn't have the guts to move her anywhere else and left her in the car thinking, it won't get too bad out there. When I get back, I'll be able to take care of her. Let me go and do this. Let me go and do this tour real quick and let me scoop this bag. But in the meantime, she's in the car, just literally cooking in the car. Now, again, you know, my theory is a little all over the place. You know, not trying to be all over the place. It's just that we don't have all the holes filled up yet in the story. And there's a lot of holes in the story. But one thing is for sure, at one point, he went and drove out to Santa Barbara during that time that she was missing. During that time between April 23rd and May 5th, he went out to Santa Barbara for some reason. I think he took her life, then he stashed her somewhere, or, you know, maybe buried her or something of that sort. And then he was like, okay, now I got to move, right? Now I got to go somewhere else and take her before people start catching on that she's gone. And what's crazy is nobody really said anything about her disappearance. Nobody was tripping about the fact that she was nowhere to be found. I also find that very strange and disheartening as well. She wasn't reported missing, or no one talked about her being gone until her body was found. Do you understand that? It wasn't until several months later in September when everybody's like, oh no, where's Celeste? When she was gone that entire time. Do you realize how crazy that is? That is the only moment where I side-eye mommy and daddy. I'm sorry, that's the only time that I'm like, bruh, why? Y'all didn't worry about where your kid was for several months? Word? Several months she was gone. Remember, she left, was never seen ever again after April 23rd. And it wasn't until the top of September, a whole spring and summer went by. We were waltzing into fall when her body was found. Do you understand the bracket of time? She was reported missing, that is true, but that's about it. She was only reported missing. And yet even the friends of hers that knew her, that saw her out with David, D4vd, every single day, didn't even ask, didn't even wonder, where is Celeste? Until her body was actually found in that Tesla in a tow yard in September, days before her 15th birthday. That's insane, guys. That's insane and scary and sad. Nicole B, thank you so much for the love. He could have put her in a dumpster, but he had an obsession with holding on to the remains. Did you get a new chair? Not yet. This is the same broken ass chair. It's still broken as hell. Still broken. But I will be getting a new chair here soon. Okay. But yeah. You know, I don't know why, but I feel like something about this guy is giving me the vibe of like he has this obsession, like he's got an obsession, like I expect this happening to like the likes of Marilyn Manson. Does that make sense? Does that make any sense? Like I see this more coming from like a Marilyn Manson type of person, type of artist than him. Does that make sense? You know? Which, don't get me wrong, Marilyn Manson has his own fair share of issues too, okay? But what I mean is like, you know, if Celeste was connected to Marilyn Manson type situation, I'd be like, this kind of makes sense. You see what I'm saying? P. Cooper, I get it. I'm not going after Marilyn Manson, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, you get what I'm saying. Okay. So again, something very interesting. Okay. Something very, very interesting and very, very odd is happening all in real time. And, this is crazy. It's crazy. It's very, very crazy. Let's see if there's any people talking about this. Hold on. Let's take a look. Because this is all very, very wild. It's very wild, but then at the same time, not super surprising. If you really think about it, like it's not super surprising, especially with all the information that we've gotten, you know, that we've all known for several months. And then we finally hear this information. You know, of course, it is still very shocking. Still very, very shocking. But there's another part of me that's like, yeah, this sounds exactly like it should sound. It's just very disturbing that we're getting more info than we're getting more info than we expected. How's that? You know? But hold on. Oh, wait a second. One second.
Today is the deadline for the LA County DA's office to file formal charges against singer David in the death of a teenage girl. David Burke is set to make a court appearance after being arrested on suspicion of murder last week. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live now in downtown LA with this developing story. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hi, Jess. Good morning to you. Yeah, that's right. Singer David Burke, that's his full name, was arrested Thursday afternoon on suspicion of murder related to the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found in the trunk of the singer's car back in September. What is happening today, as you mentioned, the DA says they're going to be presented with this case. Their prosecutors are going to go over all of the facts, all of the evidence, and then decide if they will file formal charges against the singer.
Just because he's been arrested on suspicion of murder does not mean that on Monday he will be charged with murder. It means that he will either be brought to court and the district attorney will file charges at that point, or he will be released.
Singer David's arrest Thursday captured by TMZ, the 21-year-old taken into custody at a home in the Hollywood Hills. The California Post also releasing this footage showing officers in tactical gear handcuffing him. The singer has been on LAPD's radar as a suspect in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose decomposing body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla last September. Although an investigative grand jury was convened in this case late last year, it never returned an indictment. Now, attorney Mark Garagos weighing in, who is not directly involved in this case, but however speaking about why he hears David may have been arrested before formal charges were filed. Listen.
Just recently, the medical examiner has apparently revived or has come up with or has come to the conclusion to a medical certainty that it's a homicide. Guess what happened then? Have you heard what happened then? LAPD then tried to get the DA's office to then file. DA's office apparently wouldn't file, so LAPD said, "Oh, okay, you're not going to file. We're going to go arrest David. We're going to arrest him on a Thursday afternoon."
You know what I find very strange about this situation is, given the fact that they're sitting there going like, "Yo, you are sitting on this case. You're not doing anything, y'all. Y'all need to do something right now." Or, you know what I mean? And they had to force the DA's hand. They had to force their hand to get this thing moving. Don't you find that a little odd? Am I the only one who finds that a little odd, that you got them sitting there going like, "Yo, like, come on, man. It's been 7 months. You couldn't figure anything out? You couldn't come up with anything? Well, F this. We're going to go arrest him right now. We have enough. Real talk, we already have enough. He's already been alleged of doing bad things to this girl. Her body's found inside his car, mutilation of this corpse, etc. There's enough to pin something on him, and y'all are dragging your feet. Why are you dragging your feet? That's something I find very odd. You know what I mean? Right, Robin? Like, Robin, that's weird, Robin. That's really, really weird. You're putting all this time and effort into the thing, and then it just sits there dormant, right? It just ends up being like flatline, nothing, just dead in the water. And then suddenly out of nowhere, they're like, oh yeah, we have a whole oh wow, we got a whole situation going on, dagnabbit. I didn't even know that. Thank you so much for bringing it up. Like, what? This is a guy who could have been, who may be, he probably is, he most definitely is, actually, a vicious killer. A volatile monster. And you're letting this dude just sit out here playing Fortnite and eating Cheetos. What?
And Eric and Jess, we're going to be hearing from the district attorney later on this morning. He himself, Nathan Hochman, going to be speaking at a 10 a.m. press conference. That's going to be across the street from,
which we already heard. But, like I said, this whole situation's weird. Yeah, no, not enough urgency, Nicole B. I agree. No need, no desire to expose any of this stuff, to like get like no interest in getting this man arrested. And then finally it happened today. You saw that's weird to me, y'all.
Good morning and welcome to the KTLA Morning News at 11 o'clock. I'm Lauren Lister.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. Breaking news, the LA County District Attorney has just announced first-degree murder charges against singer David.
The pop and R&B artist was arrested on suspicion of murder last week in the death of a 14-year-old girl. KTLA's Chris Wolf is live in downtown LA with those breaking details. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Lauren and Lindsay. We did just hear from LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman, also LAPD Police Chief Jim McDonnell, about this high-profile murder case involving a singer and a decomposed body. David, full name David Anthony Burke, is now charged with first-degree murder with special circumstances, lewd and lascivious acts with someone under 14, and mutilating a corpse. Officials released David's booking photo at a news conference this morning. Last Thursday, heavily armed Los Angeles police officers converged on a house in the Hollywood Hills to arrest the singer in connection with the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Today's major development comes 7 months after the teenager's severely decomposed and dismembered body was found in the front trunk of an impounded Tesla registered to David. The car had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills, and the performer was on tour at the time.
Yeah. He was on tour for a reason. I think he had that whole thing choreographed, but I don't think he had everything planned out. I don't think he knew it was going to go the way it went. You see what I'm saying? But beautiful disaster. Thanks so much, Pascal. Please check into Michaela Renee Settles, Ventura DA. Interesting. I'm going to have to look into that. Something similar, sad story, heartbreaking story. She is no longer with us because of SA. Yeah, I don't know much. I don't know that story. I'm going to have to look that up for sure. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Thank you so much for the suggestion and for the super chat. Thank you so very much. But yeah, crazy.
His arrest marks a turning point in one of the most sensational and grisly Hollywood crimes in recent history. Prosecutors and authorities say they have collected a substantial amount of digital, forensic, and physical evidence in the case and believe it is enough to secure a conviction. Burke's legal team insists the singer is not a killer, saying they will vigorously defend his innocence.
Actually, I do know about this Michaela story. It's kind of like this, except it's giving a Micah Miller vibe as well. We might look at this for like a hot minute here today. Just give me a second. Let's listen to this. But yeah, the Michaela Renee Settles situation is messed up. Okay, really, really, really messed up as well. But let's continue.
Shortly after the body parts were discovered in early September, investigators said they believed the individual had been deceased inside that vehicle for an extended period of time. In fact, officials say Celeste Rivas went to see David on April 23rd, 2025, and was never seen alive again.
The first-degree murder with special circumstances. And again, those special circumstances are lying in wait. That Celeste went to Mr. Burke's home on the night of April 23rd, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, at his invitation, and again, was not heard from again. The second is a special circumstance being that this murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court, the financial gain was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career that Celeste was threatening on that particular night. The third charge, in addition to lying in wait and for financial gain, is murdering a witness to an investigation.
In the back of my
I mean, shoot. Okay, can't play that. But this is some of his music video, so I can't play that, the audio, because of copyright reasons and all that crap. But this is all part of his thing, right? And all bad. Not the greatest. Not the greatest look, guys, for him, especially when his songs are Romantic Homicide. That's literally the name of one of his songs. This is not. It's all
Good
bad.
morning. My name is.
It's all bad, guys. It's all bad. He's in a whirlwind of trouble. I want to keep it straight up funky with you. He is in a whirlwind of trouble. And I'm not surprised. Like, we shouldn't be surprised. At this point, we shouldn't be surprised.
Good morning. My name is.
Hold on. We shouldn't be surprised about any of this, really. Okay? Hold on.
On April 23rd, 2025, has been alleged by the complaint.
Yeah, they're still playing a lot of the press conference that we just got done watching, right? So that's what's going on right now. A lot of people are watching that. One second. Yeah, this is pretty nuts. Now, something that I do want to show you guys, because somebody just asked me to look into this case really quick, because it is not connected, but it does make you wonder about this particular. I get why some people are thinking about this one. And it's really strange. And again, this one's a very, very sad one. But as we're waiting, because we're kind of waiting for they're supposed to be having the arraignment happening, and we're still waiting on that right now. But this is about the Michaela Renee Settles case out in California. Now, from my understanding, she came into California to, start her life and all that. And you think it's going to drag out like that? Well, hold on. You think it's going to, nurse, you really think it's going to drag out like the YNW Melly case? I don't know. I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to, but we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be very interesting. The trial itself, that is, if it actually goes fully into trial. You never know. He might go in, might, plead guilty for a lesser charge or a lesser sentence, and then they'll keep it moving. But we'll see what happens, right? We'll definitely see what happens. But let me just show this to you guys really quick. Again, this is just screaming another case that just happened last week. A young woman actually ended up doing the unthinkable to herself due to a terrible experience that she had with her own father. Okay. So apparently she lived in a whole other town, whole other state, moved to California to live, to like be young and live her life and maybe find stardom, find success, whatever it is that she was trying to move to California for. So she went over there and allegedly moved in with her dad in California. And while she was there, she was viciously attacked by her father. Viciously. To the point where she couldn't handle the trauma. So therefore, she did the unthinkable to herself. Let's take a look at this here really quick. Okay, family of teen who, did this unthinkable thing after sicko dad allegedly arred her demands justice. So the enraged family of a young North Carolina woman who was allegedly brutally attacked by her own father and later passed away due to, what she did, okay, plans to rally at a California courthouse Tuesday in a bitter call for justice amid fears the criminal case could fall apart. Michaela Settles moved to Moore Park, California, about an hour west of Los Angeles in July, eager for college and a fresh start with her biological father, Stephen Vincent Chavez. This is what her family said. Settles, who is 18 years old, hoped to go to Moore Park College and moved in with Chavez, 41, who promised her a car and a college savings fund. Her mom, Carolina Sandoval, said. But Settles fled the home on barefoot, barely able to walk, and with oh my gosh, well, she was not looking good. Okay, this was 2 days later. Clutching her cat, passport ID, and a handful of graduation cash, her family claimed. So she fled that home that she was with this piece of trash with. Okay, there's Michaela and her dad, who allegedly did these unthinkable things to her. Her dad, by the way, she ran out barefoot, okay, barely able to walk, with red on her legs 2 days later, clutching her cat, her passport ID, and any cash she could get from her graduation cash that she received. Her uncle had to carry her into Simi Valley Hospital, where an R kit allegedly confirmed the horrifying, disgusting act. Okay, and her mom also said this as well. So Chavez, 41, was arrested and charged with 4 felonies, including that one, taking advantage of a position of trust and providing alcohol to a minor, according to a criminal complaint. He pleaded not guilty and later posted a $250,000 bail. Settles returned home to Raleigh, North Carolina, where she struggled with depression and mental health issues, and then she did the unthinkable to herself in December. He killed my daughter that night. This is what the mom said, who declined to say how Settles, Michaela did this, how she passed on. The dad is due in Ventura County Court Tuesday for a pre-trial hearing. Settles' family, who claims the R kit confirmed the presence of Chavez's DNA, said the Ventura County DA's office told them the case was in danger of falling apart. Deputy DA Tessa McCarty was, quote unquote, preparing me that it wasn't looking good because Michaela wasn't here, meaning she has passed on, Sandoval claimed. She consulted her supervisor and a colleague to figure out how to move forward. So because she's no longer here, they can't They can't proceed in pressing charges against this dude? The DA's office has, quote unquote, no intention of dropping the case, a spokesperson said. Chavez did not respond to requests for comment, not a surprise at all. But this lovely, beautiful young woman, now is gone because of the vicious attack that she survived from her own father. From her own father. Well, we got to say allegedly, okay? Settles was never the same after the attack, her mother said. She was so confident that over there everything was just going to be a dream. California living like what you see on TV, and all of that was taken away from her, her mom said. Settles' grieving cousin, Crystal Sandoval, has been posting about the case on social media, calling attention to the disturbing allegations, and shared a TikTok post inviting people to the Ventura County courthouse before the hearing. Some of the victims' relatives are flying in from North Carolina and plan to wear T-shirts reading "Justice for Michaela Renee Settles" with a Purple Heart and her photo on them. We're not only fighting for justice for Michaela, but also for all of you women out there who have lived in fear to share their story. This fight is for the women, or this fight is for women who grew up thinking it was their fault, who grew up thinking that they asked for this. Crazy.
I didn't.
Only on Fox 11, a young woman's cry for help, a shocking arrest, and a family's fight for justice. Tonight, why her loved ones say they won't stop until her voice is heard.
Gina Silas joining us now with more on this. Gina.
That's right. This is a very disturbing case involving allegations of sexual abuse and incest. The victim's family is seeking justice, and they're turning to the public for help, urging supporters to pressure the Ventura County District Attorney to take this case to trial.
She was just such a sweet, loving, kind person.
When Michaela Renee Settles turned 18, she moved from North Carolina to Moore Park, California to live with her biological father, Stephen Vincent Chavez. 2 days later, her family says she called, terrified and asking for help.
It was just the fear
that's crazy.
in her voice, her crying. I didn't need details.
Crazy.
I knew something was wrong, and I said I'm on the way.
Still in town, Carolina Sandoval says she rushed to Chavez's home, desperate to find out what was wrong with her daughter. When she saw her, it broke her heart.
She's just she's barely walking. She can't, she's just, And so finally, my brother literally, just picks her up, he hugs her.
Michaela was taken to a hospital and a rape kit was performed. According to the family, the results came back positive for Stephen Vincent Chavez's DNA. He was arrested that same night, charged with incest, taking advantage of a position of trust, and providing alcohol to a minor. Her cousin Crystal Sandoval was in shock.
I was screaming, I was crying. I just kept thinking, why would he do that to her? Why?
I mean, I think that's the one thing that we're all trying to figure out. Who in their right mind would ever do anything like this, right? And they say that there was presence of DNA on the R kit that they used when they were checking her up, when they were doing the R kit on her, right? And now this guy is seeing, this guy's going to be seeing the inside of a courtroom, I guess allegedly tomorrow, because of what he did. So like I said, this is giving Micah Miller, and it's also giving, it's giving a lot of different themes, a lot of different cases right now personally, but Micah Miller to all these other cases that we've covered over time. I mean, shoot, even the Madeline Soto, you saw what I'm saying? Like this is a level of pig vomit I've never expected. Okay. Nicole B, thank you so much. There needs to be some type of law for people who drive individuals to self-delete. I agree. Look at JP, right? Look at Pastor JP. She was trying to get her medicine. She forgot her medicine. She didn't take her medicine. She needed her medicine real bad. Remember that crap? And apparently he's seen some stuff. He's been in and out of a courtroom as well when it comes to stuff like this. Driving someone to the point of deletion, right? So I don't know. I mean, obviously the act of what happened to her alone is disturbing as hell and could definitely drive anybody to this kind of point. But it still gives me Micah Miller vibes, It definitely does. And Madeline Soto, okay, to a certain extent. Let's just play a little bit more of this.
Why would he do that to her? I knew that this wasn't something that she could come back from.
Crystal was right. 5 months later, Michaela died by suicide.
If I'm being 100% honest, it feels like I handed my daughter to the devil.
Carolina says this is what Chavez texted her the night Michaela was taken to the hospital. "I'm never drinking liquor again. I don't want that blackout to happen again."
You aren't blacked out. Like, you're using that as an excuse.
The family says there's another devastating blow. They say the Ventura County DA's office has told them the case against Chavez may not go to trial because Michaela is no longer alive to testify.
The DA was basically essentially saying, we don't know if we have a case because she's no longer here. And when she told me that, I immediately said, no, we're not gonna let that slide.
Think about the worst thing a father could do to his daughter.
Determined to get justice, Crystal took to social media.
And I get it. I would definitely be resorting to the best platform I can get my ass on. And that would be social media all day long. And just telling the story over and over and over again. Trying to find a way to tell the story in 15,000 different ways so the story can get out there. Because a man like this, one, should not even have the right to sire children. But two, if he's able to sire children and he does something like this, he should be looking at the DP too. That's just what I'm going to say. He should be looking at the DP as well. No question. No question about it. All right? No question about it, guys. Hold on one second. Here's something with D4vd real quick. Thank you, Messi, for sending this my way. But, okay, hold on. So, one, Kent Schaefer, take a look at this. Kent Schaefer, an attorney for the singer's family, tells TMZ, "We're disappointed but not surprised that the DA made this decision. David's family stands behind him 100%. Huh. Why does it look like he got caught? Like he's in the elevator? Like this mugshot looks like he got caught. Like he just broke wind. He just farted in that elevator, and everyone realized it was him. And he's like, "Me?" Looking like a squirrel caught in the headlights. Just mid-chew. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. You know what I mean? He just looks like, crop dusting like a mug. Unbelievable. Let's see what this is. That's crazy. The family is backing him up. Like I said, zesty. You're not fully clean unless you're zesty as hell. You know what I'm saying? He just gives me zesty vibes. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Like I said. Yes. You know? You know what I'm saying? Just take a look at just like, you know what I mean? Like, or at one time, he was really trying to get this Milli Vanilli tribute band off the ground and it failed. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you know it's true, you know? And it didn't work out. You see what I'm saying? Nobody sees that? Girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Ooh, 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 I love you. You know what I'm saying? Yes, blame it on the rain. Come on now. Blame it on the rain. and then doing the running man in tights and shoulder pads. Nobody remember this? Come on now. What's up with the bandana, baby? Is that a wig? Do you have a wig on and that's why you got the bandana on top of your head? Like I said, Milli Vanilli tribute band. It just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? They only had 2 songs. Only like 2 real good songs. And they didn't even sing them mugs. They just had chiseled jaws and light eyes. Come on now. Come on now. Girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. Yeah, it's the duck lips. It's weird. It's a Zoolander thing. It's the blue steel. What's going on? You see what I'm saying? But moving on. Like I said, we gotta have fun sometimes. It's too much drama. Too much drama in the LBC. Anyway. David's family is standing firmly behind him after prosecutors hit the singer with murder charges in the high-profile Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. So Kent Schaefer, an attorney for the singer's family, tells TMZ we're disappointed, like I just read a second ago, but we are disappointed but not surprised that the DA made this decision. David's family stands behind him 110%, which is weird. I will say that. Okay. Oya just said he froze. Wait, hold on. This thing's tripping. He froze her. Easy to dismantle. His eyes looked rugged out. Yeah, he looks like he's on some things for sure. He definitely looks like he's on like a little bit of, you know what I mean, something. He's smoking or something like that. You know what I mean? He doing something. He getting properly zooted before he got arrested. You know what I mean? But like I said, he's like, me? Who, me? I didn't fart. I didn't fart into this elevator. What are you talking about? And everyone's like, I know you farted because I saw your booty flapping. Quit lying, D4vd. You done blasted ass. Okay? Huh? Me? Huh? Anyway, moving on. As we reported, the LA County DA officially charged D4vd with first-degree M. We already know that. He's alleged that he was, okay, we already know all this crap. Where's the fam? Okay? There's mommy and daddy. Okay? Chilling. Having a grand old time. Doing their thing. Okay? The charges are serious, including special circumstances, which we already know, but that could make Burke eligible for the DP, which is a very, very big deal. Okay? along with additional allegations involving a minor and manipulation of a body. He was arrested last week, which we already know. We already know they broke the story. Okay. Interscope quietly dropped him last year when police said that they were eyeing him as in this teen's grisly demise. The decision was not made public at the time because D4vd had not been arrested or charged of a crime. That all changed today. This mother lover in some serious trouble. Okay? Let's be real. What the heck? Okay. Janobi, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate you being a member for 8 months. Boom, boom. Yeah, boom, boom threat at a warehouse. What? For real? Man, there's so much crap going on today. What's up? It's supposed to be 420. Everybody's supposed to be high. You know what I mean? Everybody's supposed to be rolling one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's supposed to be on them trees. Okay? Oh, at the courthouse? There's a boom boom threat at the freaking courthouse? Wait. Are you serious? At David's courthouse? Are you correct? And Trey, we already know you did. Damn it, Trey. Shut up. We already know you did, Trey. Ain't nobody giving a damn about no Trey. Damn, Trey. Damn it, Trey. No, we already know, man. Damn. Shh. Okay? Damn. Trey. What? Wait a second. Wait a second. The boom boom threat. Hold on. There it is. This is the boom boom threat at the courthouse? Because I don't see a lot of commotion going on. Hold on. I'm looking off to the side here. Mother loving Trey. You don't have to ruin my day, man. I mean, I'm not celebrating 420 like that, but I'm just saying for those of y'all who want to celebrate 420, Trey already did, so everybody should be happy about that. Just so you know. If you don't have enough, Trey, to share for the rest of the chat, you shouldn't have been smoking it in the first damn place, Trey. I don't see anything about a... Oh, there it is. What? Hold on. This is insane. This can't be true. This can't be true. This is real? This is for real? Why isn't there a press... why aren't they talking about it? Like, why aren't they doing a live coverage over this situation? Hold on. I need to close some of these windows. Hold up, guys. Too many windows open and I don't need this thing tripping anymore. Okay. What in the hell is going on here? Take a look at this. Court day.
Ready to go?
No, I'm not.
What shoes are you going to wear?
I don't know. What should I wear? Shut up! Okay, moving on. As we were. What were you saying? Yes. There is apparently bomb threats going on in the courthouse? Wiggity word? What is going on here? Oh, snap. Hold on. What are you wearing today? What kind of shoes are you wearing? Jesus Christ. Let's move on. This cannot be real. What?
And then let's be clear.
Can you tell us what happened?
Right now, we're just investigating a possible bomb.
Does it have anything to do with anything going on today, like the
I can't comment
Rivas
on that.
case?
We just have to check the area, make sure everything is clear. And
Wait. This cannot be real. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait, are we, or is this real, or are we all just in the middle of like a contact high? Like, what's going on here? So now they got a boom boom threat inside the courthouse, the same courthouse that you got D4vd in. Who is going out of their way to sit here and try to protect this piece of trash? Real talk. This is very weird. Okay, let's continue. This is weird.
And we'll get you guys right back in.
Perfect.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Leaving this area sterile as of now. Because I know people are wanting to come in and talk, so I'd rather address everybody and kind of go over that route. Right now I have a dog running through the building to make sure everything is good to go. Once I get the okay, I will let y'all guys back in. It'll be like everything is done. If you are a juror or whatever the case is, from my understanding, I do believe the judges and everybody already knows what's going on. Everybody in the building knows. So you guys should be good to go. Don't quote me on that, but yes, ma'am, I do know that. I've been many a time in this building as well. So just stand by. I'll try to answer what questions I can answer. Okay?
He used to be an actor. That's just the vibe I'm getting. But let's continue.
So, all right, is everybody good to go on that? Okay, give me just a couple minutes. There you go.
Look at all that equipment. That's crazy.
Hey guys, can you be on the other side, please?
This is nuts.
Yeah. Sir.
You got a boom boom threat for real? Whoa! This is weird. Wait, what the hell is going on? Let's see this. Okay, because when I go to DSW, I do all that too. Yeah. I'm so excited about new Crocs. Okay.
Where are we at with this Celeste Rivas Hernandez investigation? A lot of people are interested in this.
It is currently under investigation.
You know, is David a suspect? Are there any suspects that you guys have on a list that you're keeping tight to vest? Is there?
So we don't discuss suspects or the points in a continuing investigation. When and if that case is presented to the DA's office and we make a decision on it, I'll make sure you're one of the first to know.
That wasn't helpful at all. But there's a boom boom threat going on at the courthouse that David is at. So this is very strange. This is very, very strange. And in fact, I'm trying to see, because there is a live feed going on, but like there's nothing. I mean, I see, like, let me show you. There are people walking back and forth, and there are people still inside. So I guess that threat is over. The threat is over. But somebody really went out of their way to say, ooh, you know, like who in their right mind would actually say that David is innocent? You see what I'm saying? Who in their right mind would sit there and say, ooh, David, he's our guy. Let's call in a boom boom threat. Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if he gets arraigned today or tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday or next Wednesday or a month from now. He's still going to get these charges thrown at him. It still doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. You could do a boom boom threat all you want all day long. That's not going to change anything, guys. Who in their right mind decides to use this as an opportunity to call in a threat? It's a level of dumb. It is a level of dumb. People sad. People are sad, y'all. But as you can see, it looks like hold on, I need to show you guys something. Check up here. There's a bunch of people running down. It might be nothing, but it might be something. I don't know. But people are, regular bystanders are back at it. Regular bystanders are back at it. Seems like everybody's back to where they were, so nothing to worry about, I guess. But that is very strange. That is very, very strange. Hold on. Yeah, this happened about 20 minutes ago, this threat, which is crazy. Yeah, false bomb threats, forces evacuation from Cleveland County Courthouse. Thank you, Messi, for sending that. But yeah, people were, I guess, understandably, people were bugging. Oh, come on. This thing's tripping too. So yeah, interesting thing, interesting stuff. Hold on. Okay, let's see. All right, so there is. Let me see if TMZ has any updates here. Too many damn pop-ups, I swear to God. That's so odd that there was a bomb threat at the courthouse. So far, yeah, family backs him up still. Just looking, guys. All right. So there are a few things that I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you guys about, so I want to talk to you guys about that too while we get some more stuff. Hold on, let me get this too. Kelly-Orr, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. So are they letting him out of jail? We don't know yet. That's supposed to be happening. Apparently, it's supposed to be happening in about a little less than an hour from now. Okay. Yes, I do remember the boom boom threat. Shanna, thank you so much for the super chat. I do remember this, right? I do remember the boom boom threat for the Murdoch trial. Remember? That is crazy. And very much a real thing, for sure. But hold on. There are a few other things I've been wanting to talk to you guys about because something bad happened yesterday where 8 children lost their lives, okay? And 2 women were wounded in this shooting that happened in Louisiana. Now, this guy by the name of Shamar Elkins, if I'm correct, literally went berserk, taking the lives of 8 children. 7 of them happened to be his kids, One was not, and then injuring 2 women. One of the kids, there was a kid that was able to get away by jumping off the roof of the house. This is a real thing that happened in Shreveport, Louisiana, just yesterday. It made huge headlines yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about it, and pretty insane. Pretty insane. So this is absolutely awful, and I need to share this with y'all because we do need to talk about this. Okay. Let's take a look at this. So, a man in Louisiana takes the lives of 8 children Sunday in a shooting that authorities described as a DV incident, and he later lost his life by police after he fled in a carjacked vehicle. So he's running down the street, he took a car, drove off, and then he got lit up by police. Okay. So the suspect's wife and a woman believed to be his girlfriend were also shot and seriously injured in the violence, which occurred at 2 homes in the early morning, Shreveport police said. The children who lost their lives were 3 boys and 5 girls, ages between 3 to 11, y'all. 3 to 11 years old. This is what the Cato Parish Coroner's Office said. Police had previously given their ages as 1 to 14, but now they're finding out it's between ages of 3 to 11, which is absolutely insane. I just don't know what to say. My heart is just taken aback. This is what the Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith told reporters. I just cannot begin to imagine how such an event can occur. I'm wondering that too, right? So the suspect who did all of this has been identified as Shamar Elkins, and he is as the sole shooter, the sole monster who did this. Okay, 7 of the 8 children that he took, of the lives that he took, were his children. Okay, police spokesperson said one of the children was a cousin, according to the coroner's office. Their mothers identified the children as Jayla, Shayla, Kayla, Layla, Markaden, Soraya, and Kadarian, and Braylon. Okay, those are all the names. And from 3 to 11, youngest was 3, oldest was 11. Insane. Shreveport police responded to the 300 block of West 79th Street just after 6 a.m. following reports of a domestic disturbance. Police said they described the crime scene as extensive. The gunman first shot a woman on nearby Harrison Street before he headed to the home on West 79th Street, where he took the life of all the children, police said. This monster fled and carjacked a person at gunpoint near the intersection of Linwood Avenue and West 79th Street, police said. Officers shot and took the life of the suspect in neighboring Bossier Parish after the pursuit. Officers were forced to discharge their department-issued firearms, neutralizing the suspect. So LSP, the Louisiana State PD, are investigating the entire situation. Shreveport police said nothing suggests any wrongdoing by the officers. He pulled the trigger on 10 victims in its entirety, in totality. A teenager had non-life-threatening issues from falling off a roof, police said. One of the wounded women was Elkin's wife, who was shot in the face but was alive on Sunday. And the other woman, who believed to be his girlfriend, also is still alive. 7 of the children who lost their lives were found in the home, and the eighth was found on a back roof. Jesus Christ. He said investigators are still investigating why Shamar would have carried out this situation. We know it's domestic in nature. We know his wife is involved, and she is the mother of at least 7 of the children, with the 8th being a family friend. A small caliber handgun was used in some of the violence, and Elkins had a rifle style pistol when they confronted him and took his life. It appears many of the children were hit, triggers were pulled on them while they were in their sleep. Most of them were hit in the head. It's very sad, guys. So somebody who lives on the block, Mac London, who lives on the same block, said he didn't hear the gunfire and that he only learned of the unalivings from a neighbor as he stepped outside around 7 a.m. to close his gate. By then, he said, the street was flooded with police and an ambulance, with the block shut down and onlookers gathering. London, who has lived there since 1991, said such violence is unheard of in his neighborhood. Nothing like this has ever happened on this street. It was bad. I hate that it happened to those kids. It's a tragic situation, maybe the worst tragic situation we've ever had in Shreveport. And this is what the mayor said during a press conference. We got to take a look at some of this info. This is just absolutely insane. You know, we got, like, as much as we're talking about, we have talked about things that are going on overseas and these wars and all that. And, even when we talked about it last night, I even said, and I know we haven't really talked political today. There's just been a lot of stuff going on with this David case. But what's really frustrating is that, like I said last night, we have a lot of other issues that are going on. We have so many domestic issues. We have so many issues going on in this country that we need to be focused on. And we're not focused on those. We're so focused on this other crap instead of being focused on what really matters, which is what's going on this soil in America. Plenty of problems. And one of those main problems is people are too quick to pull out their guns and start blasting each other. That's where we're at right now. And it consistently happens on a constant daily basis now. 4 different shootings happened yesterday. There was one that just happened this morning that we just talked about. When is this going to stop? Today is the 27th anniversary of Columbine. We talked about that before my stream lost signal and all that. When is this chaos going to stop? We need to be focused on things that are going on in our country, and we have plenty of issues that need to be focused on. But let's take a look at this real quick. We're going back over to the David stuff here very shortly.
Now to some heartbreaking news. Our nation saw its deadliest mass shooting in years when a Louisiana man shot and killed 8 children this morning. Tonight, we're learning more about that gunman, Shamar Elkins, who was the father of 7 of those 8 slain children. Tonight, the community of Shreveport has been left shattered. The children, 3 boys and 5 girls, ranging in age from 3 to 11.
Police say the crime scene spans 2 houses. It ended when officers opened fire on the gunman during a police chase. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam is live now with new details tonight. Tim?
Liz, Jory, we now know the names of the 8 kids shot and killed, and we're also learning that the shooter had ties to the military and was known to police. This is a Facebook image of the Louisiana man law enforcement believe is a cold-blooded killer. Shreveport police identifying him as Shamar Elkins, the alleged gunman who shot and killed 8 kids. At least 7 of them were his own flesh and blood. The coroner released their names, a total of 7 siblings and a cousin ranging in age from 3 to 11, Jayla, Shayla, Kayla, Layla, Markaden, Soraya, Kedarian, and Braylon. Neighbors mourn their deaths at the crime scene.
This is not a freaking joke. This is real, and this is the result when someone snaps.
Police are still trying to determine what motivated the shooting. The attack began before sunrise when police say the suspect shot a woman at one home and then drove to another house to unleash more violence.
The gray house is the house in which 7 children were located inside that were deceased. There was an additional deceased child that looked like he had tried to escape the residence out the back on the roof.
Officers say a second woman was shot and is believed to be the mother of the suspect's children. Both women are now in the hospital in critical condition. Officers fired at the suspect during a chase after he carjacked the vehicle at gunpoint. ABC News reporting the 31-year-old joined the Louisiana National Guard in 2013 and served 7 years without being deployed. The shooting took place in House Speaker Mike Johnson's district. He offered thoughts and prayers to the family. The shooting impacting people beyond Louisiana. The mayor of Shreveport highlighting that in his statement that reads in part, "Tragedy like this does not belong to one family alone. It belongs to all of us. Today, our community is grieving the unimaginable loss of innocent children. There are no words that can make sense of it and no distance that shields us from it."
Take out this evil out of our nation, out of our parish, out of our city, out of our lives, God. We know mental illness is real, God.
This attack considered one of the deadliest mass shootings in Louisiana. The community asking for prayers.
This community needs you. I need you. Because how do we get through this?
According to the FBI, domestic violence crimes are up. Between 2020 and 2024, law enforcement reported more than 11,000 domestic violence murder victims. In this case, investigators are still trying to figure out what led up to this shooting. Tim Pulliam.
Yeah, this is something that I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, I understand that they're saying that this man has, I guess military background, etc. Some people are wondering if this has to do with any type of PTSD. Me, I don't know if it's all that. I mean, it could be a multitude of different things. It may be PTSD. It may be something else. But something about this just doesn't make any sense. And it's happening way too often. Let's just say that too. Didn't we just talk about something just the other day about another situation where a whole family, whole family's life was taken, and then of course it was a murder-esque type of situation, right? Father, dad, not happy about, I guess, having to sign divorce papers or something of that sort. You have, the Virginia lieutenant governor losing his mind, unloading on his wife, then, of course, turning it on himself as well, right? I mean, we are hearing and seeing stories like that more than ever before. What's even more crazy and even more disturbing is what's disturbing is that this is happening more than ever before. But what's even more disturbing is the countless articles I'm seeing now of men and women, mainly teachers, that are getting in trouble for trying to DM children. I think or they're getting caught in the act with children. It is the wildest thing. I don't know what's going on with our world right now, but evil is really taking over a lot. Evil is taking up a lot, guys. It's pretty insane what I've been seeing. I don't know about y'all, but I've been seeing a lot of things online where I'm like, whoa, that teacher got arrested too? Whoa, that teacher got arrested too? And it's almost every day that we're hearing something like that. Or somebody having some sort of stash that they shouldn't have, content that they shouldn't have. You get what I'm saying? Stuff like that is just wild. And then, of course, on top of that, hearing more and more cases like this where people are literally doing unthinkable acts where they think, oh, well, if I can't have you, then no one else can, right? In fact, let me wipe out the entire family too while I'm at it. This is just insane, absolutely insane.
Now we want to get you to that tragic mass shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana. Police say 8 children ranging in age from 3 to 11 years old were killed in a violent domestic incident. 7 of them were the gunman's own children, and the 8th was their cousin. Officers killed Shamar Elkins after he stole a car at gunpoint and led them on a chase. 2 women and a teenager were also shot, but they are expected to survive. Here's what the chair of Shreveport's City Council had to say yesterday on the scene.
There are 8 children that are deceased. I can't be strong for you. I think about the mother and what this family has lost. I think about this community and what this community has lost. And I don't have the words to give you, and I'm sorry.
Very tough to hear that. We're joined now by CBS News law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison. Rodney, good morning to you. This is absolutely heartbreaking. It makes no sense. But help our viewers try to make sense of what investigators can even do next. How do they process such a horrific event? How do they protect the investigators and detectives from not being traumatized from something that's obviously extremely traumatic?
Yeah, so good morning. And yes, horrible and a tragic incident that occurred out in Louisiana. But there are some layers of steps that need to be done next. And the first thing is taking a closer look at how Mr. Elkins got a gun. And they're going to be working with their federal partners, ATF, to try to trace how the gun got into his hands. We all know that Louisiana has less restrictive gun laws, but you need to take a closer look at, did he have a permit and how he became into possession of this firearm? Second was,
wow,
is there any domestic violence history that happened here in the past that the Shreveport Police Department could have maybe identified a little bit sooner that could have possibly caused this incident from happening? You know, they have 450 sworn members within the police department. They do have a domestic violence unit. Were there any domestic violence visits during the last couple of years? And mental illness is going to be a big part of this investigation. Was he suffering from long-term mental illness, or was the unfortunate incidents that were going along with him and his wife cause him to snap and commit this horrible, tragic incident?
And it also highlights a disturbing fact in America where guns in the household are more likely to be used on family members than on an intruder or a stranger. What kind of wake-up call should this be? And I'm wondering if mass shootings against family members is common at all, especially when it comes to people's own children.
Yeah, so you take a look at a couple states, New York, California, they have these red flag laws that allow law enforcement agencies to retrieve firearms from individuals that are gun owners that may be going through a certain situation or may be involved in some type of incident that allows the law enforcement agency to retrieve those guns before an incident like this occurs going in the future. So there are things that could be done. It's going to take some federal oversight to take a closer look at what can we do to make sure that these firearms are not getting in the wrong people's hands, especially maybe through mental crisis.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're at that place where how can we predict? Because it's not like we can really predict when something bad is going to happen. I mean, this person may seem totally fine mentally, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he snaps. So you can't really predict that part, right? And I think that's something that a lot of people are trying to, know and understand as well. But yeah, this is just absolutely crazy. I'm praying for the family. It's just so strange to me. This whole,
hey guys, it's
this whole situation is just so freaking strange. But we'll see what comes of that. That's the problem. We can't predict when somebody's going to snap and go crazy and do something bad. You just can't predict those kind of things. In some sort of way, I wish you could, like a Minority Report type of situation. You kind of wish that they could predict something like that, but unfortunately, no system is perfect, right? So something is weird about that case, and hopefully find out what's going on. Something here, we gotta turn back. Actually, no, yeah, we're gonna get back to David here in just a second, but we do need to talk about something else that's just gonna be a little bit lighthearted and just kind of dumb, just for a second, okay? Because we've been talking about a lot of gloom and doom recently, all day so far. But we do need to talk about this, and I think it's very, very. This is very interesting. Apparently, there is a robot that apparently it broke the half marathon, like broke the half marathon record. A robot. Yeah, we got to look at this. Okay, this is very interesting, and I think this is wild. And please, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Can we get it to 1K? Okay, can we get it to 1K really, really quick? That would really mean the world to me. Okay, we've been on for a good minute, damn near half the day, almost the whole work day, it feels like. So please hit that like button down below and send it all the way up, because it does help the show. It helps us continue growing and getting bigger and stronger, and getting the word out there about this show. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Please and thank you. Subscribe. We talk about a lot of things on this show, so please do that favor for me. Hit that like button down below. But let's take a look at this. This is very interesting. Like I said, just a little bit of a break from all the craziness, because there's been we've been listening and talking about a lot of doom and gloom. And I think this is very concerning. I'm just going to say that out loud. This is extremely concerning, y'all. We should be concerned about this. Sorry not to be a fearmonger, but this should make you concerned. Yeah.
Okay, so now to a story that's an update from last week. A robot made huge strides in a half marathon in Beijing. It was a giant leap for technology, a stumble for humankind. A red humanoid named Lightning won Sunday's 15-mile race. Look at him go.
No.
He's working it.
Like Tom Cruise.
That's right. Just like Tom Cruise. Yeah.
In every single movie.
There you go. Boom, through the finish line. Lightning beat out all of the human runners. Chinese media say the autonomous robot needed only 50 minutes and 26 seconds to scoot across the finish line. The fastest human to ever run that distance takes about 57 minutes. So not everything ran super smoothly, though. Check out this robot.
Oh my, no.
I mean, talk about eating it. Oh, gosh. The legs.
That is scary.
Stop moving. But it's...
Dang. Okay, first off, let me just do this. I just need you to know this is very dumb. Yes, it's very dumb, but it's also very concerning. And some of y'all be like, why? Yeah, he's trying to be a breakdancer. You know what I mean? Maybe he wanted to do that. He's just like, I want to dance. I just want to dance. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what that robot really wants to do. You know what I mean? He just wants to be a dance machine. You know what I mean? You know, watch me get down. You know what I mean? Maybe he really just wants to be a dancing machine. I'm sorry, that's a dad joke. But you get what I'm saying, right? This should be a concern for all of us. We ain't done with the video yet, but I'm just trying to say, because some of y'all are like, what happened? What happened? I missed it. What happened? Don't worry, I'm going to get to it. We're going to get back to it. But you got a robot that just beat the record for the fastest half marathon. This should concern us, guys. I know if some people are like, this is funny. Look at this. Who cares? Yeah, this robot did not. He was not enjoying his life. So he just said, whoops, you know. But here's the thing. All right. This should concern all of us because, again, this is just showing us that robots are getting better. They're getting faster. They're getting stronger. They're getting smarter. They're getting much more advanced. They're capable of doing a lot. So if this is the step in that direction, this is not good. This also shows you that you won't be able to, like, if you're trying to, like, you know, let's just say, get out here and try to, you know, break a law and say we live in a world where robots are starting to take over law enforcement jobs. You won't be able to outrun a robot. Yeah, this is Anna Banana. Exactly. iRobot indeed. This should concern us. They become stronger. They become faster, more agile. A machine that won't quit. It's not like it's a human where a human needs energy. A human needs, to breathe. These machines won't need any of this crap. They don't need any of this crap. This should be a concern. As funny as it is, it's funny, but it should be a concern. For sure.
It's really amazing.
They got the gurney out.
Last year, it
Yes.
took the robot nearly 3 times the amount of time to finish this race. So the amount of the advancement that they made in just a year is incredible.
But the robot has no lungs. This is not such a feat. It has a battery. It doesn't have to work on its lung. I mean, am I the only person?
No, I get what he's saying. Like, this is not like, who cares that it can run faster than a human being, but it should matter because they're able to run it faster than a human being and they don't have lungs. Therefore, they don't need to sit there and breathe, right? They don't need any of that. They're just a machine. They could do whatever the hell they want. So again, this is not a good thing, okay? This is not a good thing because AI, robots, etc., technology is getting better. And as much as we complain about robots taking over our jobs and taking things out in the job field, it's going to be very, very hard for us regular humans at some point to obtain those regular, hands-on jobs. Because these robots are going to be able to get those jobs done without any issues. Yes, there's going to be humans that are going to be needed to be able to fix those machines. But other than that, that is about it. Okay, that's really about it. Okay, General Kane, thank you so much. Had to talk the orange out of using the nuke. General Kane had to talk the orange out of using the nuke option on Saturday being reported. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. Give me a second. I'm gonna look that up too. That's absolutely. Or if you have the article, send it to me through X, and I'll pull it up here in just a minute. July, thank you so much. 3210, July 3210. Okay, appreciate it for the streamathon. Thank you, I appreciate it. I didn't expect to be on this long, but there's a lot going on. So, and then the feed went to crap just earlier, so I feel obligated to give you guys a solid, robust live show. So thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. But here's the thing. This is the problem that we're in, because now they have more than just endurance. They have the speed. They have they don't need endurance. They can go fast. They can go long, etc. Like I said, and the fact that we're able to advance the technology that quickly in just 1 year, imagine what where we are going to be at in 2 years from now. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get more advanced. It's going to be dope to see that. Okay? It's going to be dope to see that. But at the same time, this is not something that we want to see happen for the advancement of humans. I could see this helping us to a certain extent, but this could also be very bad for us in the long run too. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about jobs, the job market, etc. There was also a robot playing basketball, shooting hoops, bouncing the basketball and shooting hoops. Soon enough, we won't even be watching the likes of LeBron. We're going to be watching, LB 7500 dunking and shooting hoops at some point. You see what I'm saying? So again, not the greatest thing in the world. I mean, I see a lot of benefits, but I also don't see a lot of benefits too. I could see this coming back and biting us in the butt. Yes, I get him. He's like, well, they don't have lungs, so who cares? He's got a good point. But at the same time, this could be bad.
It was like not impressed.
I feel you. Sorry. But if you
Matt feels personally insulted by this. He's like, come on.
But listen, if you give that same robot a weapon, we're not outrunning it, man.
Yeah.
That's what's so
Thank
beautiful.
Thank you. Exactly my point. You give that robot a weapon, there ain't no quit in them. There ain't no quit. They don't get tired unless they run out of battery juice. And most of the time, they're going to be solar powered anyway at some point. You see what I'm saying? So again, that's not good news. It's not great. Okay? They're going to run out of juice. They will. But at the same time, this is not good. Because you give a troop, you give a squadron of robots a goal and give them some weapons that they know how to use, this could be really bad. And then, of course, at the end of the day, I know there's some benefits to that, because you're not losing human life. You're just losing parts. You're just losing plastic and metal and wires. But at the same time, though, jobs go to crap. Jobs disappear.
It's so terrifying.
What do you think the robot did when it won?
The robot. Oh! That was a great dad joke.
I didn't know where you were going. Very good. Very good.
I'm just, Vlad's not here. I'm trying to do my best, Vlad. Now, here in a... Thank you, Peak Vlad. Thank you so much.
Oh, my dear God.
Okay, so now to a story that's an update from...
Oh, dear God. Yeah. Somebody said, the worm? What he do, the worm? No, it was the robot. Yeah. 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 That's a real thing, guys. That was a real thing. So again, big concern, I'm sure, for a lot of us, or it should be a big concern for a lot of us, but anything's possible. Okay, back over to David. I want to share this with y'all, okay? Because that was something I wanted to talk to you guys about. Yes, it was a little bit of a detour. So what? I think it's a big deal. Robots are slowly taking over a lot of people's jobs. You're seeing less and less people. Like, for example, you're seeing less and less people at the supermarket, like working at the supermarket. Everything's self-checkout aisles, and you see less and less people when you go into the supermarket. Maybe you're looking for something and you're in a hurry and you're looking around. You're just trying to find somebody that can help you, do the stuff. But instead, you see these machines that are driving through each aisle, scanning and doing inventory for the store. You rarely see the people that actually work there, and 9 times out of 10, they don't even know where the thing that you're asking for is in the first place. They're sending you down the wrong mother-loving aisle. You know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm looking for some candles, some birthday candles. You got them? Yeah, go down to aisle 7. 7A is right there. Oh, thank you so much. You go over there, and all of it is NyQuil and cold medication. And like, I didn't ask for that. I wanted birthday candles. Why are you sending me down the wrong aisle? You work here. How do you not know? And it's not like they shifted the store recently, so you should already know where the mother-loving birthday candles are. You already know what I'm talking about. Don't get me heated. Don't get me mad. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And it could be something that they should already know. Like, I'm just looking for Chips Ahoy cookies, and they still send you down the wrong mother-loving aisle. They should know where that is, but they don't, because there's only like 3 of them in there, okay? And they already hate their lives because they're doing the job there, and I get it. It's a thankless job. But damn, when I ask for where my cookies at or some birthday candles, you should know where they is, okay? There's only 3 of you in there, and none of y'all know where anything is. Damn. So, just saying, jobs are getting minimal. Machines are taking these jobs. It's insane. So what are we going to see? Usain Bolt 3,000 at the Olympics? I'm just saying. Or are we going to have Usain Bolt 3,000 holding AK-47s marching onto Iran's soil? Think about that for a second, okay? You know what I mean? And Floating Lotus. You know what I mean? Maybe that robot did make those damn candles. Okay, all of them in one sitting. Shoot. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. But here's something I find very interesting. We need to take a look at this. This is very interesting. This is a promo video for D4vd. Hold on. I got to mute it because I can't play the song. But as you can see, this is a promo video. Look at this. Look at the time. Look at this. And look at the situation he's got himself in. This is a promo video. So this was announced that his debut album, Withered, was coming out Friday, April 25th of last year. Hold on. Let me do a little math for you really quick. Do you notice the red lines? You notice that he's laying in the ground and he's got a wound like he's been stabbed or shot in the chest. Notice that? This was last year. Hold on. This gives motive. This makes a little bit of sense, don't you think? Hear me out. We just heard from the press conference, and I repeat right here, April 23rd was the last time she was ever seen alive. 2 whole days later was when this album dropped. 2 whole days later, this album dropped. Wait, I'm going to play more of this, but notice the red lines like a crime scene. Like, you know, when you're doing like a, you know, like in these movies when the detective is doing all the, you know, like this is why Malcolm is connected to Susan's death. And then, you know what I mean? The ice cream shop and the this, that, and the third. And it's all the red yarn that's going through. You see what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying, right? Oh, that's totally normal. Right? You can't make this up, guys. This is some creepy stuff. So 2 days after her demise, he premiered this. Crazy, right? Not normal, guys. That is not normal stuff. That is most definitely not normal stuff. Let's take a look.
Jackson Buai here with TMZ. Now, there's been a very interesting turn of events with regards to the David case. He was arrested in connection for the murder of Celeste Rivas without an indictment as well. So to talk about that today, I have Donna Rotuno. She is a criminal defense attorney as well as a Fox News contributor. She's here to give us her informed insight. Donna, thank you so much for joining me today.
Sure, Jackson. Thank you for having me.
To arrest someone in connection with a murder is one thing, but to arrest them without an indictment, which is what his defense attorneys are blasting the judge for right now, what does that say about the degree of the investigation and the evidence that they have against David right now?
Well, there are many ways that a suspect can be brought into custody. One, of course, is with an arrest warrant, which you can have without an indictment. Another way is with an indictment, which they don't have here. But quite often, people are arrested and then indictments come after the fact. So if the police have probable cause or a good faith basis to arrest you, they can do so. They can only hold you for a period of time. Most jurisdictions, it's 2 days, 48 hours from the time of your arrest. And if you're not charged within that period of time, you are then released. So here, it looks like they are planning to bring this case to the prosecutor's office to seek charges. So we don't know what charges those are. We don't know if that's a murder charge. We don't know if that's a concealing the body charge. We don't know if it's a dismemberment charge. There's just no way to know yet, but they clearly brought him in. Now, we know this investigation has been pending for some time. So my guess is they received some piece of information that caused this flurry of information and action today.
Because this investigation has been going on for so long, how is David's defense likely to counter the prosecution here? I mean, will the defense at this point know what kind of evidence is being brought against him, or will David have to wait to appear in court to find that out?
Yeah, at this point, they don't have any obligation to share what evidence they have. Now, if they want to get a statement from him, they may present him with some information and say, these are some things that we have, and that information may be true or it may not be in order to elicit a statement. You don't have to be truthful with the defendant if you're law enforcement in order to attempt to get them to talk. Now, he has a lawyer, so odds are he's not speaking. He's obviously lawyered up here for a long period of time since his investigation has been pending, and he hasn't been speaking. So my guess is he's not going to talk to them. So in terms of what information they have, he probably will not know that unless he is brought before a judge and actually charged.
In your experience, have you ever seen a client of yours be taken in this manner? I mean, they really came about I'd say 20 to 30 police officers deep to take him. I mean,
Yeah, I have. I've seen these types of situations before. I mean, they happen. My guess is they must have some new information in order to do this, because if they didn't have new information, they would have done this a while ago.
But does that speak to the degree of evidence? I mean, does that mean that it's damning? Otherwise, if they got a little, like, let's say there was, you know, something that happened with the autopsy, or there was some kind of match with the DNA, would that be conducive to an arrest of this size?
I mean, it might be. First of all, anytime you're talking about the finding of a dead body, right, these are potentially serious charges. Now, we don't know if they can connect him to the actual death or the actual murder, or if they think that they can connect him to the concealing the body. You know, at this point, we just don't know. But anytime someone has died, it usually does, and they believe that something nefarious happened, it usually does trigger a very significant police response. So I think that that's what you're seeing here. And in terms of why they're doing it now, again, my guess is it's because they have some new evidence, at least linking the two of them together. Remember,
I mean, obviously they're obviously starting to link a lot of things together when it comes to the David thing. That I think is going on without question. I think that's going on without question. Okay, let's just be completely real. Let's just keep it a bean. I think there's a lot of things that are going on right now that they're connecting all the dots. And I think right now, because obviously they are now in court, has started, from my understanding. They are inside a courtroom, and they're going to, I mean, I guess we're going to see what happens, right? But they are they are connecting the dots. They are trying to piece everything together to make this whole thing make sense. And I think David is in a heap of trouble. He is in a world of trouble right now. But I do need to go over to international news real quick. Going to the political realm for a hot minute, because something is actually been happening, and we do have to talk about this before I have to basically wrap up the show for now. But I may be back on a little bit later, because I was hoping to hear from the family a lot sooner than we actually have. I thought they were going to do their statement earlier, but it looks like they're going to be doing their statement after they have their court hearing. So hopefully, I'll be back with you guys and talk about that here in just a second. Okay. He's in court right now, just so you guys know. Okay. Ephemeral, just so you know. They are in court right now as we speak. A hearing is happening right now. Okay. Yeah. And that's also interesting as well. Gianna. Okay. April 27th, 2025. He performed in Houston, Texas. April 30th. He performed in Houston, Texas. April 30th. 2025. A video from album release show surfaced of him in tears while performing song Afterlife. Yeah. Like I said, I think he's utilizing all the stuff that's going on, and or that he did. Okay. Well, he's alleged of doing. I think he did it. That mother lover. But anyway, he turned it into art. I mean, his album's called Withered. What else? What more do you need? His album was called Withered, but I digress. All right. Real quick, I just want to share this because obviously there are a lot of things going on overseas, and we haven't really talked about that. Okay. Yes. Two of most famous songs are Here With Me and Romantic Homicide. Yes. And most people are saying, that these particular songs are just straight up full-on confessions of him doing these terrible things. And I'm not surprised if that is the case. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. Art in parentheses. Art in parentheses for show. But real quick, allegedly Trump just put out, sent another warning to Iran. Now, if you don't know what's going on, Iran and Trump are not seeing eye to eye right now. Okay? They are not seeing eye to eye at all. There's supposed to be peace talks today, but I guess that's not happening right now. So much that Trump had to come out with another warning. This is what they're saying according to Fox News. Let's take a look.
Start with our chief foreign correspondent, Trey Yingst. He's got the latest. He's in Tel Aviv for us. Good afternoon, Trey.
Yeah, John, good afternoon. Amid questions about if an Iranian delegation will arrive in Pakistan this week for direct talks with the United States, we're getting a new statement from Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, who said on X, honoring commitments is the basis of meaningful dialogue. Deep historical mistrust in Iran toward U.S. Gov conduct remains, while unconstructive and contradictory signals from American officials carry a bitter message. They seek Iran's surrender. Iranians do not submit to force. I spoke with President Trump over the weekend, who told me if the deal isn't done, the deal that we made, then I'm going to take out their bridges and their power plants.
So he's already still saying, like I said, he's not changing anything, guys. He is literally saying, I'm going to commit war crimes. Just so you know, I'm going to destroy their bridges. I'm going to destroy their power plants, everything that they need to survive. The Iranian people, I'm going to make the Iranian people's lives a living hell. They have got to do what we asked for. We got to make these deals happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to make their lives a living hell. But I also find it very interesting that they said they're saying this, you know, like you cannot just do all this crazy stuff to us and expect us to bend a knee. You can't just go and seize a boat. You can't sit there and say, oh, we're taking over the Strait of Hormuz. You can't sit there and say that you're going to destroy an entire civilization. Bullying us is not going to happen. Bullying us is not going to change how we see you and how we feel about this peace talks before walking into it, before walking into these peace talks, right? So again, this is insane. Yeah, creep show. Like this whole thing is all messed up, right? And it's a very big concern because again, if we end up doing what they say they're going to do, if we end up doing what if Trump ends up doing what Trump says he's going to do, this could be a whirlwind of issues. Okay, this could be very, very detrimental, not only just to the Iranian people. Okay, it's obviously more importantly to the Iranian people, but then how are the Iranian people going to react to a thing like that? You see what I'm saying? Now, and of course, Genobi, I was looking around to see what the fact of General Sal Chicken said that General Kane said that like he was stopping Trump from actually getting the nuclear codes or something like that. I haven't seen anything yet about that. I'm still looking, but I may have to, talk about it when I'm live again in a little while. But again, this is absolutely insane. Okay, that he's like, yo, you can't bully us into doing this. And because Trump is basically still saying, yo, homie, if we don't come up with a deal, I'm doing exactly what I said before. The whole civilization's going to die tonight.
To take out their bridges and their power plants. He went on to say, if they don't sign this thing, the whole country is going to get blown up.
What? Oh my God, McLean, thank you so much for the super chat. Good afternoon to you too. But what in the F is going on? What in the F is going on? So look, this is how we talk? You know what I'm saying? This is how we get the job done. Wow.
Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson held a press conference this morning indicating that Iran has not agreed to attend the talks in Islamabad yet.
Yikes.
And is currently reviewing U.S. proposals.
Yo. Hold on. They're already saying, yo, we have not talked. We have not even said that we're down for this meeting. That's supposed to be happening today, by the way. This meeting's supposed to happen today. And he's like, nah, hell no. Oh, hell no. We ain't doing it. We haven't even entertained the idea yet, guys. What are you talking about doing peace talks how can you have peace talks with us if we ain't even there? Come on now. How can we even have peace talks if we ain't even there? Please, someone explain that to me. That's insane to me.
We witnessed that the United States insisted on bad faith and violation of the ceasefire. All of this is evidence that the United States apparently does not show seriousness in the diplomatic process.
The remarks come as international focus remains on the Strait of Hormuz. Overnight, Central Command said U.S. forces seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship that tried to breach the naval blockade. President Trump announced the seizure on Truth Social, saying in part, quote, the Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel.
That is not the greatest step in the right. That's not the greatest step in the direction of like wanting to talk peace, right? That's only going to make the situation worse. I get why America did what they did. I'm going to make that abundantly clear. I get why, but I'm just saying, as far as steps towards having peace talks, I don't think that this was the best choice. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, this is breaking the ceasefire agreement, but at the same time, though, I will say that the Iran also broke the ceasefire as well agreement as well, because they started opening fire on the likes of a French and UK vessels as well. There's supposed to be no shooting whatsoever. Everyone's supposed to be chilling right now. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, this is not, all of this is just one big cluster F now.
We understand the ship remains in U.S. custody at this hour. At least 24 other vessels were turned around over the weekend, complying with U.S. orders. The incident came 24 hours after Iran's IRGC fired on 2 vessels trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz in violation of the ceasefire. Now, John, here in Israel, it is currently Yom HaZikaron, which is the Memorial Day for the Israeli people. Remember, since October 7th, nearly 1,000 Israeli soldiers were killed in terrorist attacks or in combat. So for the next several hours, the Israeli people are marking this somber moment before Independence Day here in Israel.
I mean, let's be real. We are absolutely cooked. Okay, actually, the whole situation over there is cooked. Doesn't matter what side you're on. Doesn't matter what bias you stand on. What team you're batting for. It doesn't matter. All of it is absolutely cooked. And I just don't see any positive thing and any positive resolution coming up anytime soon. But again, I don't know. Things could turn on a dime in the next day or two. But I will say, Trump is already gung-ho about lighting them the F up. And that is a huge concern to me. It should be a concern for all of us, the entire world. But here's the thing. We'll see what happens, because, again, ceasefire is supposed to be over on Wednesday. I don't know. There's rumor that General Kane, I call him General Sal's chicken, got like stormed out of a meeting because I guess Trump wants to drop nukes or wants access to the football, basically to nuke codes. And General Sal's chicken was like, hail to the no. He's like, no, we're not using that. We're not going down that route. But we'll see what's going on here. I mean, this is just insane. Okay. Just insane. All right. But Nina, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate the super chat or the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. But again, guys, what say you? What are your thoughts on this? What do you think? Because to me, I got a lot of questions. And I don't have an answer for all of it or any of it at all. But I am very concerned about what's going on overseas. Obviously, there is an arraignment going on, or there's a hearing right now going on with D4vd. We're gonna find out what's going on here soon enough. If charges are going to be hit and placed on his head, and they should. If they don't, I will be shook. Okay, but justice for Celeste. Hopefully we'll find out some more information soon. When we do, I will be back to talk about all that and then some. But unfortunately, I got to get going. I got some things I got to take care of. So that is the show. I appreciate you guys being here. It was an epic day. A lot going on today. Big show. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of the conversation. Again, if there's any more information, I'm going to try to be back on this evening because we do have to do like a little small update and recap of things that we saw today. Okay. And there's a lot going on. Okay. So please do me a favor before I head out. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Can we get it to 1K? That would really mean the world to me. If It would help the show. Okay, I've been on for a good long time. I think I deserve it. So hit that like button down below. Send it to 1K. Please and thank you. Of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, please and thank you. Don't forget to do that. All right. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow me on all these other platforms that I'm live on as well. And I'm on all of them, so go check it out. Okay. And I'll be talking to you guys here very, very soon. Trust me, I will be back on in a little while to give you guys some updates on what's going on with this trial and hear what the family has to say through their lawyer in their press conference. So stay tuned. I'll be back on in a little while, okay? It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.